Hello,
All
and
right.
welcome to this episode of Goji Shore.
All right. Uh, I tell you what, Jay, I have been having kind of a rough day.
Why is that?
It's just a lot's happened today. It's honestly, it's kind of why we had to start recording a little later.
Did you lock yourself out of
I
your house you're house sitting?
No, I didn't do that. It's kind of rough. I had to kick out a roommate of mine. Um, she was just being a real problem. She was just not getting along with people, was being really aggressive with everybody. It was just really hard to work with her. But
Didn't you just...
it was kind of sad to see her go. And then she was packing her bags, she was getting ready to leave, and then a giant gorilla just reached through the window, grabbed her, and dropped her like 8 stories. It was insane.
Sounds like that gorilla solved you a lot of problems, maybe.
You'd think so, but now I have a broken window.
Oh, that's true. That is rip.
Yeah,
That
it's
is a bigger
pretty.
problem.
And I'm in a lot of distress about it.
Wait, Nick. I thought
What?
you just lived with your girlfriend.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did. But now this gorilla just threw her out the window. I don't know what to tell you.
Threw her out the window and broke your window, huh?
I know, and I'm really torn up about the window.
What happened to your dog?
We don't need to get into that.
Okay.
He's fine, probably. I didn't have time to check. I was too busy needing to come here and record this episode, which conveniently, or perhaps inconveniently, really lines up with my real life events, because today we're talking, of course, about episode 3 of Jersey Shore,
Yeah.
titled Good Riddance.
Why don't you give
And
us
then,
a
of course,
description of that episode? Oh,
well, I was going to
also,
say,
why
we're
don't...
also talking about 1933's King Kong. I didn't want anybody thinking that in this Jersey Shore episode, a giant gorilla shows up tragically. Spoilers for
I feel like
Jersey
that's a
Shore
lie.
episode 3.
Giant gorillas are always showing up on Jersey
That's
Shore.
no way to talk about... that's no way to talk about Ronnie.
I think he would take it as a compliment.
I think... You know how there was the whole meme of 100 men versus one gorilla?
Yes.
I think Ronnie, if he was part of those 100 men, could probably turn that fight around pretty substantially.
I think a gorilla would tear through any amount of human beings.
I
Unless
don't
they
think
had
so.
weaponry.
I think that the gorilla would eventually get very tired. Now, King Kong could tear through 100 men, no problem.
I think a gorilla, or normal gorilla, would take Ronnie and use him as a weapon to bash the other 99 men with.
I love that we are so late to discussing this internet meme.
We should also... I'm late to discuss any internet meme.
Well, what we're not late to...
What we are late to is to actually tell our audience what our podcast actually is, in case they're joining us for the first time ever.
If you're joining us for the first time ever, you could leave. This is the quality we got. I can't even say ever.
If you're joining us for the first time ever, listener, welcome. I don't know if it was Jersey Shore that brought you here, or kaiju monster movies, or King Kong that brought you here. But this is a podcast where I make my kaiju monster movie friend watch Jersey Shore, and he makes me watch kaiju monster movies, and then we discuss the themes between the two. And Nick, I kind of owe you a little bit of an apology. I'm always owing somebody an apology when we start these.
Did you send that gorilla to my house to kill my girlfriend?
Oh fuck! I owe you 2 apologies.
Okay.
So the apology I was gonna give, because I'm not that sorry about the gorilla. I felt like you needed some more excitement in your life.
That's fair.
But no, I owe you an apology because I went on this big thing about, like, Nick, I don't know, man. I don't think we're gonna be able to discuss a theme this one. It's a pretty serious, heavy one. And then you were like, I don't see what your problem is.
Jay
And then
had
I
me
was like,
so worried.
how do you not see the problem, Nick? You might be part of the problem. And now I realized I did you dirty because I thought that the episode we were doing was next episode. So
Yeah,
I gave
so
Nick a bit of a spoiler, guys, that I won't spoil to you here, but
audience, this for weeks now, Jay has been coming to me about, hey, we really need to be sensitive about the topics of this episode. We're gonna have a really hard time making jokes about this. It's pretty serious stuff. And so the whole episode, I am watching Jersey Shore, even more on edge than I normally am while watching the Jersey Shore.
and you had to run a
And
D&D game that night too.
I did. I did have to run a D&D game that night. And I was so worried. And I came out of this episode going, was Jay really worried about how we talk about Angelina leaving? Is that the serious topic?
We gotta be careful. I don't want to get flagged, Nick.
Well, because to be fair,
have to mention lying to the workplace. I don't know. Some heavy hitting stuff.
Having a totally real cough.
Oh.
This episode, Good Riddance, season 1, episode 3 of Jersey Shore. Hello, everybody. The episode's finally starting. It's only been 7 minutes.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We find that this episode is titled this, assumedly, because it sees the leaving of one of our beloved castmates, Angelina, which we will get into the hows and whys this happened.
I have so much to say about Angelina, and I'm so excited. I am so excited.
I need to start this episode. I have not looked this up because I don't want to have spoilers, but Jay, I have to ask.
Yeah.
Because does Angelina come back? Because right now, I feel like she looms over my life like a dark specter that might strike at any moment. I'm afraid to talk about her in this podcast because she might come after me in my real life.
If Angelina came after you in your real life, I think that'd be a win. That'd be so exciting.
It would be pretty exciting.
I think we're a little under Angelina's pay grade, if I'm being honest.
Well, I don't know. If she doesn't come back to the Jersey Shore, she might be living life as a normal person.
She's not.
She's not a normal person, or she's not living life like one.
Both.
Both
who
are
wants
probably
to be normal?
true.
Who wants to be normal?
Right now, you know, I'm gonna save what I have to say about Angelina. We should probably get started on the episode itself.
Is that a serious question? Do you really want to know?
I need to know. Don't tell me any details on how or when, but does she return?
Or listeners, if you don't want any spoilers about this question, maybe skip ahead.
There is no one on the planet who has not seen Jersey Shore who is not asking the same question I am. If this would be a spoiler for you, you want to know too. Don't lie to me.
Okay. Yes, Nick, she does come back.
Good.
Maybe not this season, but she does come back.
I'm imagining that Angelina is the Thanos of Jersey Shore.
She's certainly treated
the
that way.
Big bad. I could see why.
Okay, I don't remember if we got into this earlier, but there was a Ask Me Anything done by a verified producer of Jersey Shore who I think was there for seasons 1, 2, and 3, and when they were asked about, like, hey, what was your opinions on all the castmates? Like, who was kind of your favorite and who was your least favorite or whatever? I think I've read 2 of them. There were 2 different ones, and they both said Angelina was the hardest one to work with.
Shocking.
They said she just could be kind of rude. You know, I wasn't there, so I don't know. I'm just going off of what they said. They said all the other castmates were pretty nice and laid back, and they said Angelina could have her nice moments too, but they said out of all of them, she kind of ended up being the more, I think, diva one.
With the disclosure that we always give of that we are talking about these people in the reference of where they are at in the show, I do not know where they end up in the future. That Jay does, but
I know
I'm
some of
approaching.
what they end up in the future. I haven't actually not finished all of Family Vacation. I think I watched seasons 1 through 3, and there are currently 7. So at some point,
Oh my
there will
God.
be stuff we watch together for the first time ever, which will be exciting.
Well, keeping in mind that I don't know where any of these, I say characters, any of these people end up, and also knowing that this is an exaggerated version of all of them. They're being
Mm-hmm.
kept in inhumane conditions,
This
being
is
poked
true.
with sticks,
They're kind of the
probably
King
not fed.
Kongs.
Oh, I have some connecting themes. Don't you worry. I just need to say, I will not have kind things to say about Angelina this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I think, again, with everything I just said, just looking at this snapshot of her life, I think she's terrible.
Yeah.
She's absolutely terrible.
Yeah, this is 2009 for reference for people for first joining us, but yes, 2009 is where we're going back to, and what's the fun of watching a reality show if you're not being a little bit of a judgmental asshole? So I think we're allowed that as long as we also say, hey, you know what, we're all humans, and if people took a snapshot of my life, actually, I'd be a teenager. I'd probably be a horrible person to have
I've
a
always
snapshot of
been
my 2009 self displayed to the world. So,
I've always been like kind of sick as hell, so
oh,
I
that
don't know
must
what to
be
tell you.
nice.
I'm kind of awesome. But speaking of everybody making mistakes, this episode starts with JWoww talking about a mistake she made in the previous episode.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, she comes into the kitchen and is talking to Polly and Ronnie, and I can't remember if I said last episode that I believed that she forgot that she'd made out with Polly or not. This episode really convinced me that she genuinely does not remember that happened, because she seems to be rather upset about it. She seems to be taking it all right. They reveal that they make a big point that she kissed with tongue.
Yeah,
Uh,
Polly Dake us to kiss me with her tongue.
what they don't make a big point about, and I think they should have, is the fact that both Polly and Ronnie are eating cereal just fully shirtless in the kitchen. Just there, everything out. And I'm like, you guys don't need to be on all the time, you know? Like,
They are on camera all the time, to be fair to them.
I don't know, man. I mean, that's fair, I suppose.
Do you ever eat cereal shirtless, Nick?
Not often.
But you do.
Really.
But you have.
I'm only when I'm on camera.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
That's actually why this is not a video podcast, is because I would constantly be shirtless.
It's because they gotta pay for that on OnlyFans.
They do. Sign up to the Goji Shore OnlyFans account. Jay and I will show you our feet.
Speaking of, Angelina has her own podcast, and apparently there was somebody that offered to pay her $10,000 for a picture of her feet.
Damn.
Anyway, we can continue with the episode.
I can't believe she'd reveal she and I's private emails like that. So yeah, they have this little conversation, and then we kind of jump over to the situation, sort of talking about Ronnie and Sammy being closer together, and their relationship kind of forming. And once again, he insists that he's not jealous. He's not jealous at all. How dare you say he is? The situation continues to... Oh, sorry. I was going to say, the situation continues to delight me in how much he insists that he's not bothered by everything Ronnie does.
Yeah, I like it because he does. He is so pressed, and Sammy is I actually have a timestamp request here because...
Oh, do you have the same one I do?
Is it?
I like you, nice guy, but not like that.
Not like that. No, not like that.
Oh my god! All right, so hang on. Let's we're gonna put the time. We're just gonna put this clip in here, and then we're gonna break this down because I made the exact same note.
Thank you.
You do. I'm serious. You do.
Thank you.
You're very pretty.
Thanks. Such a gentleman.
I know.
That's why I like you, nice guy. Like that, not like that though. Not like that.
So,
do we want to do our clap thing?
No, I've just been taking pictures of the time code because it's easier.
Okay.
So her saying, "I like you, nice guy," not like that though, not like that. And then I don't know if you notice, our audience certainly can't hear this, but Sammy then steps away from the situation as he steps closer, and she like turns a little bit away from him, and it's
The body
so
the body
funny.
language is not in his favor.
And then goes on to say, "I've experienced you already." And the situation doesn't seem like he can comprehend the idea of somebody objectifying him, because he just doesn't know what to do with this. It's really funny.
It is very funny, and I gotta say, I think it's not fair, because I think it's maybe because I have watched this season so many times that I was actually a bit distracted while rewatching this by all of the t-shirts and
Yes!
stuff.
I also made note of the t-shirts.
I noticed the particular tank top Sammy's wearing in this scene, the back of it says "Shore Store Whore." I thought
that's
was
very good.
really
I was distracted by all of these serious conversations, especially the ones later in the episode with Angelina, when they just have smiling SpongeBob and Elmo t-shirts just right behind them in the middle of the shot.
It's definitely one of those, like, if anybody's been to, like, a beach town and they have those tourist trap t-shirt stores that just have, like, the most worst perverted, like, edgy sayings. There's one I really enjoyed that I wrote down. It said, "Please tell your boobs to stop staring at my eyes."
That's
There was
incredible.
another one.
Can we get a shirt of that?
There's another one that features... no, we can't, because the Shore Store already sells it, and we're infringing if we do that. There was another one that had a fire. I think it must have been a local fire station emblem or something, but it was some sort of fire station emblem, and it says, "The hotter it gets, the faster we come."
Damn, that's good.
So very distracting material in the background of this scene.
Well, so the situation, or as I start calling him in my notes at this point, the sitch, because I got tired of typing out the situation every time. So he wants to win Sammy back so that he can then turn her away, because he's so upset. Yes,
that is a specific goal he outlines.
And I have noted here, my guy, you're taking L's left and right. Just stop.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's like a cartoon villain where he just keeps losing.
It's a very, and he's the Team Rocket in this episode. If like Sammy was Pikachu and I guess Ron is Ash Ketchum. This means a lot to Nick, who's the biggest Pokemon fan in the world.
True. Does that mean that Ash and Pikachu have sex?
I didn't really think through that analogy.
Well,
I hope
that's
not.
where we are now.
Let's move on then to Snooki, how Snooki's method of eating pickles.
Oh my god. So Snooki's method of eating pickles is that she...
Please describe it in detail.
Okay. I have my notes. Here's what it says word for word in my notes. Snooki over here sucking down on a pickle. Good for her.
Vinny and Pauly D are just having a time with it.
And Pauly D are loving it, unaware of the fact that they will be loving a lot of things that Snooki does in this episode. But she's just sucking on this pickle, and she's trying to suck the juices off of the pickle or out of it, which is a way to eat a pickle. I hate to be fair to the guys on this show, but she is really going to town on that pickle, and there is no other way to look at what she's doing other than deeply sexual. She's like going off on this pickle.
Sometimes there's just some food that you can't help it, like hot dogs, popsicles, things like that. You're like, I'm just trying to live my life. It's not my fault that they made this food phallic shaped. Do you
suck on a hot dog, Jay? I generally bite and chew a hot dog. How do you eat hot dogs, man?
You gotta get all the juices out.
Audience, I'm so sorry. if there's any children listening to this podcast, please keep listening. Leave a review. We could really use the. It helps with the various algorithms I don't understand.
Yeah, 5 stars, please. But I would understand if you gave me one after that.
No, don't give us 1 star for Jay's mistakes. I eat hot dogs like a normal person, whole.
Oh, you can give us 3 stars then.
I swallow them whole like a normal person.
Oh, you swallow them whole? That's at least 4 stars.
So, I also made a note here that is unrelated to anything. So I watched this episode as I have watched all of the Jersey Shore episodes with my partner Kendall. Rip in peace. She was thrown out a window by that giant gorilla. But she reminded me in watching this that Snooki is very short. And we double checked. And we actually paused the episode because we remembered that she is 4'8". At which point,
yes, I remember.
I stood up.
What
I stood up with a tape measure and measured how tall 4'8" is, because Kendall's very short. Kendall's 5'2". And we realized that Snooki is truly tiny, which led to me making this note of: does Snooki have the hair poof for added height? Is it to deter predators in the wild?
Probably. She's got the high heels and stuff.
She does.
I know. I always forget how small she is because she's always constantly wearing high heels and stuff. So I'm like, Snooki doesn't look shorter than Kendall, but I'm like, oh, but she does got like the big poof. She's got the high heels, you know?
Yeah, and then like you'll see her next to people and you go, oh yeah, you're a small individual, which is fine. I'm gonna make it clear early on in this episode. Snooki remains solidly my favorite. I have heard so many things going
all
into
5
this.
foot, 4 foot, what? 4'8" of her?
5 foot with the poof.
Okay.
I have heard so many people talk smack about Snooki, which makes me a little afraid of what might happen in the future. But right now, this episode, Snooki is spitting straight facts, left, right, and center. If she was a D&D alignment, she'd be chaotic correct. So she is eating her pickles, hanging out with the guys, talking about how she just wants to find somebody to make out with and hook up with. Good for her, I suppose. Ronnie and Sammy's drama is continuing, but then it is abruptly interrupted by an incredible music video. Just randomly, the editors went, this episode's too short, I guess. Let's have a minute-long music video of the shore.
Is it just the transitions?
This one was longer.
Because I'm not remembering this.
This one was longer than a normal transition. It had some length to it. There's a couple of incredible transitions in this episode.
Was there a subplot thrown into that?
No, it was just sort of life on the shore. It went like twice as long as a normal transition would.
Well, I think you're forgetting that in Ronnie and Sammy's little like drama, they're at the shore store, and basically he's like confessing his attraction to her. You know,
yeah,
he's very much like, you know, I didn't expect this. You know, I didn't think I was gonna like really take anybody seriously here, and then it kind of continues like. After their shift and he's back home, it seems to be that Ronnie and JWoww are roommates. However, the rooms got arranged with the order that they got into. Ronnie and JWoww have ended up as roommates. So Ronnie's also kind of confiding in Jenny that he's got real feelings for Sam. And
love their dynamic, by the way. I'm really hoping nothing terrible happens between the two of them, because I was like,
it's very cute season 1.
Oh no. That fills me with dread. But I like that they're buds. It also seems like all of the women in this show seem to get along with Ronnie all right. Ronnie seems like he is the least bad of these people.
He is, I think... Oh, no, Vinny's younger. At first I was going to say, I think Ronnie's the youngest guy, but no, Vinny's younger. But he's still real young. I think he, you know, compared to, like, you know... Mike and Paulie, he's younger, so
yeah,
he's kind of, I think, coming into this very kind of like
Ronnie is,
I don't know if naive, kind of starry-eyed.
Ronnie is the youngest viable option because Vinny is, as we'll get into,
just 21.
So yeah, they're buds, and then JWoww's boyfriend is visiting. And I write in my notes, I wrote this in real time over the course of the episode. I wrote, Jaywow's boyfriend is visiting. Good on her for being upfront about it. Or never mind. Wow. Because
Yeah.
in the course of just a couple minutes, she completely decides that she's not going to tell him right away. And then later finds out she was right not to, because her boyfriend just kind of casually brings up, as one does, like, oh man, if you even made a mistake with somebody else, it would be over. I would be done with you. And I'm like, I think he suspects some stuff. That seems like a weird thing to just say.
It was very unprompted. Have you ever done that to Kendall before she was launched out of your window? Did you ever have some conversation where you're like, Kendall, you ever messed around with anybody else?
Yeah, actually, I did, but...
Or did she do that to you?
No, I did have a conversation like that, but the conversation I had was actually, Kendall, if you ever let yourself get grabbed by a gorilla and flung out of a window, I will never forgive you. And it's kind of weird I preempted that.
You know, that's kind of like the modern prenup. You gotta make sure that you're protected in case your partner gets flung out during a kaiju or alien monster attack.
That's true. That's true.
Well,
so her boyfriend's...
But yeah, she makes it a point to kind of tell people, like the camera, at least the interview, like, you know, I want to tell him, but it's just not worth risking the relationship. I love him so much. So yikes.
Her boyfriend's name is Tom. As we will have later in this episode, there are 3 separate mics in this episode.
Yes.
Which, we'll get to that, but oh my god,
I remember
this show
2 mics.
hates
I'm
me.
interested on the 3rd mic.
Okay. So...
I know there's Angelina's boyfriend that's
and then
Mike, and I know there's Mike the Situation.
Doesn't Snooki have a mic that she's hooked up with who is a separate mic?
Oh, I think so. I think you're right. I think his name was Mike.
At first, I was freaking out. We're jumping ahead a little bit, but nothing that important happens. Jaywow's boyfriend comes over, and then I just made a note that in the transition after her boyfriend shows up, in the transition, there's a bit where the Ferris wheel falls over. I don't know if you noticed that. I assume it's getting, like, taken down, but it just looks like it abruptly falls over. And I thought that was very funny.
That.
Yeah, it's just there, and then all of a sudden the skyline, you see it go, whoop, it just fall over.
I wonder how much that would cost to have that transposed with, like, Godzilla smacking it down.
Oh, man.
And using that somehow.
I will look into seeing what I could do about that. I'll just green screen a Godzilla action figure in there.
Alright.
Alright, so yeah, so they're all hanging out, and then Angelina brings over her friends, Alana and Elena, who I'm delighted to say do not matter in this episode, because I was pulling my hair out trying to keep track of Angelina, Alana, and Elena all at once.
Can I make you feel even better about that?
Yes.
I think I made a note. My note for that was Angelina brings in 2 girls that I think we never ever see again.
Thank God. Because I wrote down... what was it? I wrote down, Angelina brings in her friends, Alana and Elena. This show is just fucking with me now. Angelina calls up her boyfriend on the duck phone, which I'm delighted the duck phone's back. I love the little graphic that the duck phone has when somebody's on it.
I like the demonic possession that takes it over whenever anybody calls.
It's great. Angelina says that something happened with her and her boyfriend, to which I wrote, "Girl, you happened to your boyfriend." They all go to a party at...
Yeah, she kind of convinces her boyfriend to go... I think they're going to meet at the Club Karma, which will be a reoccurring venue.
Love that it's called that, by the way.
Should we look up some Karma reviews, or should we wait till the end of the episode?
You go ahead and look up some Karma reviews. I just want to bring up real quick that, remember what I said earlier that Vinny was a bit much? They're all getting ready to go to the club. Everybody's just wearing, like, their t-shirts and shorts and whatever. And Vinny decides to put on a full suit and a purple tie. And everybody's like, what are you doing? And he's like, nah, it's good. And then we never see him in that outfit again, which leads me to believe that it was an embarrassing disaster, because what are you doing, my guy? Terrible look. Especially when you're not going with other people who are dressed up. Just a terrible choice.
He did get dressed up, didn't he?
He did. He got really dressed up, and nobody else did, and everybody gave him shit for it. Vinny makes a lot of questionable fashion decisions in this show. I will say Vinny kind of has been flying under the radar the last couple episodes. I'm a little worried about what he's up to, hiding in the background.
I'm so sorry. I'm a bit distracted because I was trying to look up Club Karma reviews, and I saw something. I see an article saying putting an end to the era.
Are they gone?
Jersey Shore cast reacts to Club Karma being demolished.
Oh no! Damn, there goes us going there and recording an episode. We can record it on the parking lot.
Karma was a big one for this series, as you will come to see. But yeah, Karma was a kind of a big one for this series. I think that was basically their home base. What's there now? Yeah. That's a good question.
Is it just a parking lot? Is it a mall that's now getting knocked over?
Let's see what it
is. It an Arby's?
Says. Put into former Seaside Heights Club Karma demolished. I will. Continues a multi-year plan of shedding the party image of Seaside Heights into a more family-friendly destination.
Boo! Boo!
Nick, we're gonna. That means
I just saw my audio peak at that last boo.
We're gonna see families.
That's all right, Jay. We need to just go there and ruin the vibes.
Oh. Karma, made famous by the cast, is now a pile of rubble. Demolition began at the former Seaside Heights Club Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. This looks like it happened back in 2018.
Damn, we're so behind on this.
Oh, wait. Last played host to parties in 2018, so that means this might have happened. Okay, this looks like it happened 2023 is when they demolished it. It just last kind of did club stuff in 2018. Oh, that is terrible. I'm trying to see what the Jersey Shores... I'm learning this in real time, everybody. So all of you people that came here because you were the Jersey Shore fans, I'm sorry if you're also learning this right now.
We do a lot of research here at Goji Shore.
Here we go. I do sometimes in real time. So what will take Karma's spot at 401 Boulevard? Like many properties redeveloped along the shore, realtor Mike Lowndy from Seaside Realty says the space is fated to become a mixed-used condominium with rooftop ocean views. They gotta ruin everything, don't they?
That's fucked.
This is the dumbest timeline. That article was newjersey.news12.com.
Damn, New Jersey, I hope you're proud of yourself.
Demolished. If anybody wanted to also read that, but how depressing. Well,
damn.
I wanted to read reviews.
Well, there's none. They were all demolished.
Karma.
See if you can find reviews of the condo complex.
I don't even know if that's opened yet. That was in 2023.
Oh, damn. We could buy a place there, Jay. We could live on the grave of Karma.
We could live... Oh my gosh, do you think it'd be haunted with House Clubbers
Haunted
past?
by the memories of the Jersey Shore cast. Haunted by Vinny's bad fashion decisions.
You were just like, imagine, you like go to lay down and like, you just like got done from swimming on the rooftop pool late at night and you go to lay down to be lulled to sleep by the sounds of the nearby New Jersey coast ocean. And then as you're laying down, you just hear the ghostly echo of that was me trying to make a Jersey beat.
I could, you know what I'll just do, Jay? I'll just edit in a snippet of our theme song into you making a Jersey Shore beat, and it'll sound like you beatboxed that entire theme we have.
Thank you.
I'm not going to do that.
I love it when editing works to make me more talented.
I'm 100% not going to do that. However, I'm going to beatbox right now, and it's going to sound a little something like... See, that was flawless. That was flawless. A flawless rendition of our opening theme song.
How embarrassing. I'm never beatboxing again. I'm hanging up my beatbox. I'm hanging up my beatboxing gloves.
Damn. We should probably get back to talking about the episode, shouldn't we?
Yeah, sorry. I'll try to see if I can find old. Maybe I can go into like the internet archives and find the old reviews, but I'm not doing that right now. I'm too
we
sad.
found some interesting lore about
Yeah,
Karma being
that's
defeated.
true.
Defeated by condos.
Defeated.
Like a kaiju
Yeah,
battle.
Gosh. So where were we? Oh yeah, so Angelina goes to the club where she kind of convinces her boyfriend. It doesn't sound like he wants to come out at first, but she kind of convinces him.
She gets her boyfriend Mike to show up, who calls one of her friends to tell them that he's outside, which is a little weird. And then Mike, while going into the club, says that he has a bad feeling about this, and yeah, man, me too. Do we want to talk a little bit about Mike? One of the three Mikes in this. Okay, so the third Mike.
Which Mike?
The third Mike, real quick, is there's a bit where Snooki runs across a guy who like squeezes her butt at the club, and she's like, "Oh,"
who also kind of looks like one of their coworkers at the short store, but it's not him.
She's like, "Oh,"
so even more confusing.
It's my buddy Mike. I used to hook up with him, and I'm like, oh my god, Snooki hooked up with Angelina's boyfriend in the past. That's some good drama. And then I realized, no, these are two different, similar-looking Mikes.
No, it turns out half the people down at Seaside Heights right now is named Mike.
Snooki's Mike, for the rest of this episode, does not matter. He does not reappear.
No.
So forget that. That's one Mike we don't have to worry about. The other Mike is the situation. So Angelina's boyfriend is Mike. Mike... as we discover, sucks.
Yes.
He seems like a really bad dude. He breaks up with Angelina for unclear reasons, though with how she is, I get it.
I have some reasons, but we'll get into that.
Or
I have some theories.
Well, it's also revealed shortly afterwards that Mike is going through a divorce. Meaning, Angelina is the other lady. Which also means that if Mike is mad at her for, messing around with other guys, he sucks even more.
Yeah, he doesn't come off as great. And I desperately tried to find information about, like, who he was, or kind of like, I tried to find some where are they now. I couldn't find shit on Mike. I don't know why. I'll try another crack at it. I will admit
he was demolished along with Karma.
waited to do. Huh? Yeah, maybe.
He got turned into a condo complex.
That could be. The internet erased him.
Find reviews of Mike.
No, I couldn't find, like, I could find a lot of, like, where are they nows, but I couldn't find anything on, like, this original, like, still married guy or whatever. So I do have some theories as to what happened between them, because he does not become, we don't really hear anything about him. He's kind of left as a big question mark, and then because Angelina leaves, that's never really answered. Mike, a bit of a mystery, but some stuff actually in recent years was sort of revealed that might shed some more light on that. So I'm gonna admit, whenever we get into this, I have a lot of Angelina lore, so I don't know, should we just get on with the rest of the episode? And because Angelina makes a lot of moves in this episode, so I feel like I should just dump all the Angelina lore at once after everything.
Yeah, Angelina's got... This is Angelina's episode in many ways, even though she disappears about halfway through it. I say disappears. So she gets broken up.
King Kong reaches in and grabs Angelina.
He grabs her, looks at her, realizes that she's not...
The short shack window.
Yeah, realizes she's not Snooki, and then drops her. Snooki would be the one who Kong wants, right?
I mean, for Snooki, always on the search for the perfect Jersey Shore gorilla, I would hope so.
So, Angelina goes home. She is very angry. Kendall made a comment at this point that we didn't realize how relevant it would be given the things that are hinted at next episode, which Kendall described this show as, it's like content just endlessly hitting you in the face, and then when you try and recognize what's going on, it throws another thing at you.
Yeah.
Audience, I need
That
you
never
to know.
stops.
I need you to know, writing notes on Jersey Shore, this show was not meant for this. It takes about 2 hours to get through an episode of Jersey Shore when you're making notes about all the important points, because you think that you'll write a note and you'll go, okay, it'll be a few minutes before the next relevant thing, and then seconds later something insane happens and you go, all right, I gotta pause it and make more notes. Like, it is relentless.
I'm so glad I pressured you and Kendall into watching this.
So Snooki makes a very good point where Snooki basically says that this show, like, you can't come to a show like this with a relationship and expect it to go well. And Snooki is absolutely right. As we discover from both JWoww and from Angelina this episode, it is folly to try and come into this with a relationship and expect it will all go well.
Do you want to know something that will be a small tangent that's kind of interesting about that point?
Please do.
So I was reading Mike the Situation's autobiography reality check, and so his current wife Laura, that he's married to this day, as far as I know, unless something happened, but last I knew, was married to this day, and he actually was college sweethearts with her. So before they started this show, they were college sweethearts, but then they'd broken up, but because he wanted to get clean, because he was taking some uppers back then. I don't even know if I want to give the exact names, because I feel like, go buy his book. It's actually a really decent read. But he does admit he was on some. And anyway, he had to get clean, and so they kind of broke up during his getting clean. And then they kind of thought about getting back together, but it was during the time that Mike was actually auditioning for the show, and then they were kind of like, they picked him up for it, and then they did the pilot episode, but then they didn't call him or they did auditions, they did something, and then they didn't call him back for a while, so it was kind of like in limbo whether he was going to do this or not. And then during that time, he reconnected with Laura. They were trying to decide if they were going to get together again, because the feelings were still there, but then Mike got the green light on the show, and they wanted him to come down to Jersey Shore, and he and Laura talked, and they both kind of mutually decided they were going to stay friends, but they didn't really want to try to go for a relationship right now, because they said, if we're meant to be, it's never going to be under these circumstances. Like, I should not be going into a reality TV show with a girlfriend, because I know it's going to be about partying and things like that and hooking up, and I don't want to drag her through that. And she was kind of on the same wavelength, like, I don't want to, I'm trying to settle down and stuff, and I'm not really trying to be with a reality TV star. So they actually kind of made the mature decision, like, hey, if we're meant to be, maybe it'll be down the line, but now is not our time.
Given how
wise on their
relentlessly
part.
horny situation is, that is genuinely surprising. Good on him.
I thought
Good
you
on
would
you,
enjoy
Mike.
that.
Mike, you know what? You've risen in my estimations a little bit. You're above Polly.
I thought you'd enjoy that.
Mike brings me,
but
the situation brings me a lot of joy. I'm pretty sure last episode I said some pretty vile things about the situation, and I stand by all of them. But Mike, you do bring me joy.
The thing. To the viewer, I'm sure that we've been so very subtle, sneaky. You probably didn't know this, but me and Nick are kind of big D&D nerds. I feel like Mike the Situation would be the exact kind of like semi-antagonistic villain that you would love playing.
Yeah, probably. Mike likes to play the heel. He understands the role. The thing is, I don't think...
Yeah, he likes it. It seems like he revels in it.
I don't think the Situation realizes that he's playing the heel, though. I don't think he realizes he's the bad guy at this point.
I think you're not giving him enough credit. I think he does. He's been kind of a very business-minded guy from the beginning. I think he enjoys attention, and I think he's kind of like, yeah, I'm having fun with it.
I think we're also giving the Situation too much credit here in terms of like just how much we're talking about him, because this is not his episode.
This is not a
This is
situation
not a
episode,
situation
despite
episode.
all the whining that was going on earlier about Sammy.
So, let's see. I'm getting back to my notes here. Mike calls Angelina after she goes home angry. And she's like, fuck him, I don't want to talk to him. And he then texts Angelina's phone and says, could you have Angelina pick up, or could you have her pick up? And I don't know why he texts that to her phone. Because he's like assuming somebody else will pick it up, which to be fair, somebody else does, but it's a wild move for him to make.
Yeah.
But then we cut to the relationships are just cascading, because we cut to JWoww and her boyfriend Tommy, who he gives the whole, if you cheated on me at all, even if it was an accident, I'm gonna be furious. And JWoww kind of understandably gets cold feet and doesn't tell him yet. But she seems to be really genuinely upset about how all this is going. And it kind of made me be like, okay, I don't think JWoww was actually lying about forgetting. She seems like she didn't know, which leads me to an important point. JWoww gets a lot of crap for how this all went down from her housemates and everything. Vinny knew she had a boyfriend and was less drunk than her. Vinny is...
Are you talking about Polly?
Sorry, Polly.
Polly's the one
Sorry,
she
not
made out
Vinny.
with.
Not
Yeah.
Sorry, they're all all these
They
tan
blur into
men
an
all blur
amalgamation
together
of-
into one being in my brain. Polly knew that she was in a relationship. He wasn't as drunk as her. Polly should be getting way more shit than she is right now. Like, she messed up too, but Polly has no remorse for this either, because he is just shit-talking her boyfriend the whole time about, like, he's like, oh, well...
He's like, what a sucker,
seems like
getting
a
her
sucker.
roses,
Yeah.
being a boyfriend.
Seems like a sucker. Also, I already had her, so, like, he probably doesn't even want her now. And I'm like, oh my god, Polly, you...
Yeah, the guys are kind of harsh on the girls, because even with Angelina, you know, like we had mentioned before, her boyfriend kind of shows up at the club. They get into a fight. It's very short, and it's very, like, the details of the fight are not really shown in the episode, which is kind of adds to the mystery of it. But he basically shows up as like, I can't do this or whatever, and kind of like leaves the club abruptly. And then we're left to piece together with like little headshot interviews with Angelina that like, I guess we're done. I guess we're broken up or whatever. And she's bummed out about her boyfriend. And then Mike, the situation is like, well, she's just a drama queen and she can't handle when the attention's not on her or whatever. I'm like, dude, I mean, she was in a relationship and just got dumped. You know, that's hers.
Again, I think that's part of why Ronnie seems like the one that all the ladies get along with, is Ronnie seems... He says some stuff that's not great. He's not awesome. Ronnie does seem like he does that the least of the whole...
Yeah, so far.
Yeah. Vinny does too, but that's just because they haven't been cutting to Vinny very much. We've seen Vinny do it in previous episodes.
Yeah.
Speaking of... Vinny goes to work the next day, and Angelina is supposed to be working with him, but she's not there. And she's like coughing every once in a while, and it's never made clear. Yeah, it's
that's like...
Yeah, it's never made clear.
We had that same disease when I worked in the movie theater in high school. I'd get that all the time, too.
Right? It seems like she is faking a cough. Maybe she wasn't, but it really seems like that. And then she goes... Mm-hmm. She doesn't call in. She physically goes in a couple hours later, which is a wild move if you're actually sick, and tells off the poor man who's working at the counter that I'm sick. I don't have to call you. You shouldn't expect me to be here. It is just a truly awful coworker, and is really making it hard for me to feel bad for her, which is going to be a continued theme throughout this episode.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's like, I feel too... I agree with you 100%. I think it was gone about all the wrong way, which, whatever. They're all young, drunk partiers, you know. It is what it is. I'm of two minds here, where I thought the guy, like, she kind of even sort of admits in the middle of her faking sick, like, you know, me and my boyfriend got into a fight, and the guy's like, her boss. It's not
Yeah,
Danny.
it's just some
it's kind of.
guy.
It seems to be another boss she has at the store.
I got the impression it's
but,
another employee who's been there longer.
That could be. I was unclear, but somebody that has some authority over her, it seems like, in this store. And he's like, that's not my problem. I need people to be here. And, I get it. He's right. He's trying to run a business. I think I'm a little bit more of like a pushover and things like that, where I'm like, man, she just got broken up with. Who the hell? Like, it's hard to work when you're that distracted by a breakup or, but I get where he's coming from too, where he's got to run a business. I think Angelina, maybe if she had just really tried to make an effort to see if one of her roommates would switch her shifts. Like, hey, I'm going through a break. I'm having a hard time. Can we switch shifts? Because I just really don't know if I can do today. I think if she'd have made an effort like that to try, one of her roommates might have. And even if they didn't, she could call her boss and be like, hey, I tried. I couldn't get anyone to cover my shift. And I'm just really going through it today. Is there any way, But she didn't try to do that, so that's kind of where I kind of falter
her
a bit.
Not
like
even sending a text is kind of where, because she's like, I don't have the phone number, and I'm like, that's impossible. And also, you have Vinny's phone number.
Also, Danny is your boss and your landlord. I'm sure his number's somewhere in the house.
The thing that gets me also is that she kind of already burned her good graces by being kind of a bitch about all of this previously in the workplace, and so I'm kind of like, maybe you would have gotten more leeway if you hadn't been a total jerk about working.
A good employee. Yeah.
It's like at that point I can understand why they're kind of fed up with her.
Yeah, it's like I don't really fault them. I do feel bad for Angelina because I've had days where it's like, man, I just I can't do today. I can't work today. There's just too much going on with life. And I've had those days, but I also get, the world's got to go around. They have a business to run, also, and it's sometimes.
If you act that way all the time, they're not going to believe you when you are having one of those days. You know who I feel bad for in this moment is whatever that employee's name was, who has been told all of a sudden, hey, you have to work with these reality show weirdos, by the way. Because I'm sure he was thrilled about that. Just delighted.
We don't see him a lot, so I'm guessing not.
Yeah, I don't blame him. It sounds awful. Can you imagine you're working at your job, you're selling t-shirts or whatever, and then you're told, hey, like a dozen weirdos are going to come in here, and they are just going to be drama all the time.
I would love and hate it, because on the one hand, I would be like, this is so fun and out of the ordinary. Like, how cool. This will be so exciting. And on the other hand, I'm an attention whore, so I would get jealous.
Well, also, my thing is...
oh, look at all you guys. I'm fun too.
If you're having a bad day at work, it is all going to get turned into content, and...
That's true.
You're just not going to be able... Work is going to be so much more stressful. Because you don't get to go for any of the fun parts. You're just there for the shitty t-shirt parts.
You know what I feel bad for is the employees that tried to, just the normal employees that wanted just a mediocre job at a t-shirt press shop along the shore, because they're like, I just want a party or whatever, and I just need a little extra cash, and I want a job I don't really have to work that hard at, and all of a sudden
the situation
that show takes off, and the situation shows up, and then people are coming to see these stars, and all of a sudden you actually have to work.
Real. See,
damn.
Yeah, you have to do all the actual work while they're doing Jersey Shore stuff.
Yeah.
So then Angelina goes back home, and Danny, quote, the boss, shows up on his bicycle.
Yeah, they see him rolling.
I want Elden Ring boss music to play as he rolls into the front. He's just riding up on his bike.
He's got his torn jeans or whatever, and he's just going down like an indie music video with the most serious look on his face.
He gets his bike, he lands it, and I want Margit the Fell Omens theme to start just going off.
Me too.
So yeah, he shows up, and he walks through the front door, and Snooki is like, oh, Angelina's upstairs. He's like, cool, can you have her come down and talk to me? And Angelina goes, no, I'm gonna hide in the bathroom, and you have to talk to me through the door. And then she starts taking a shower while he's trying to talk to her. And at this point, I'm like, Angelina, you're really just burning every bridge you could possibly burn.
I don't know. I don't know this for sure. I couldn't find any verifiable information on this, but I personally have a theory. I think she wanted to get him in the bath because she's very insistent that like, no, come talk to me in the bathroom. And she says she's too sick. She says she's too sick to come out. But what I think is the bathroom is the one place where they can't they can't be filmed.
Oh,
I mean, there's supposed to be if there's more than 2 people, but I don't know how that works with Danny not being an actual castmate. So I don't know if she just wanted like a moment of privacy to level with him or what. But that's my guess is why she was so insistent on being in the bathroom.
Again, this is why I'm saying all these things about Angelina and all these people, keeping in mind they're being kept in a P.T. Barnum circus. Like, they're being poked with sticks and being fed raw meat or something. It's...
Yeah, like, join and being judgmental little bitches with us, because we absolutely are going to be judgmental little bitches, but also just keep in mind, these are the conditions they were living in. They're probably not fully themselves.
Every bit of judgment I give to all of these people, which is warranted judgment, I feel. But no, if you're listening to this, Angelina, first of all, we would love to talk to you. You can pick whatever kaiju movie you want. We will talk to you about it, Angelina. It'll be delightful. Call us.
I will watch. It doesn't even have to be kaiju. Angelina, right, if you want to do any sort of viewing with us, I will watch anything with
Angelina,
you. I would love to talk
Angelina,
to you.
It has to be a kaiju movie. We're not changing the format for you. I'm sorry. Now, Snooki.
I will change the format for you,
Snooki, we'll change
Angelina.
any format for you if you want.
Snooki, I will. I'll do just anything you want, Snooki. Just talk to me.
Yeah, quite frankly. What was I saying before we got into begging? Oh, right. Any judgment I give to these people, know that I give that judgment tenfold to the producers of this show. Because I hope that in those AMAs you've been finding, there are people who are asking, hey, did you feel good about being a monster?
There are some people that did grill some of the producers on these AMAs, and they kind of got a lot of flame back, like, hey, these people came on here in good faith to answer questions. Like, they got, like, kind of, like, you know, buried in Reddit comments, and it's like...
You know who else came on in good faith, hoping to have a good time on a show, and then found out they weren't going to get paid and were treated in subpar conditions? I don't know. Maybe you should get over yourself that you're being told off.
It's like... Yeah, it's weird, but a lot of the cast members seem to have good relationships with a lot of the production team. So I guess it is twofold, you know. They did give these people like a weird circus life of a career, but they did give them a career, and they did open doors for them and give them money. So it's like, I don't know. Were they treated inhumanely? I think so, but also, was it worth it to them? A lot of them seem to think so.
If any of the producers want to come on and talk to us about it, we'll let you choose the kaiju movie.
Yeah, I will only watch kaiju movies with you producers, but know that I know you were doing a job.
I want everybody involved. Anyone who was involved with the Jersey Shore, you have an open invitation to show up and watch a kaiju movie with us. Also goes both ways. If anybody who is involved in any kaiju movies wants to.
Yeah,
but you don't get to choose.
Don't
get to choose the episode of the Jersey Shore. We are doing them in order.
Yeah, well, I will watch any episode you want. We will not record it.
We won't
until
record
it's that episode.
you don't get to change our schedule. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Anyways, let's see.
Yeah, he rides in. Angelina refuses to talk with him. And then Danny basically demands she leaves then, you know? She's gotta work, and if she's not willing to work, and if she's not gonna, I think in his kind of terminology, like, be an adult and talk with him, then she has to leave. And a lot of the roommates also... And like I said, who knows how much is going on behind the scenes. I'm just kind of going off, like, what little I know and what I think. So I think it seemed to me like Angelina was going through a hard time and, like, wanted to talk with him in private, maybe because there weren't going to be cameras there, and then, like, got told to leave. But a lot of the castmates seem to think she's being really disrespectful, and, like, they kind of come down with harsh judgments on her for the whole situation. So who knows how Angelina was, like, in things we didn't see, you know? Maybe she was a pill the whole time.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It makes me think that she wasn't being very pleasant to her fellow cast, because what we do see after this is immediately, as opposed to kind of having those moments of like, oh, I'm leaving, you know, she just immediately starts just fucking roasting the situation about having gray hairs. I actually have a time code here where she talks about that and calls the situation an idiot. So let me just go ahead and put that time slot in.
Chill. Listen, I don't want to get on you. Go home.
You're an idiot, Mike. He's really mad. Stop being a
All right, I wouldn't be a if you weren't a little bitch.
Oh.
All right?
So yeah, she's just on her way out. She's just like firing off strays at people.
Yeah, she is. Just kind of like calling, I think, Polly and Vinny old men or something, and be like, you know, you're gonna miss me, and kind of lightly slapping them. And everyone's like, they're kind of like laughing and stuff about it, but then they're like, hey.
They're laughing, and then as soon as she turns away, they're like, we fucking hate her.
Yeah.
And then she insists that this has nothing to do with her boyfriend. She wants to leave, actually. And then she takes her bags and she leaves. And I was shocked that she didn't come back again to the episode. Except, of course, for the prolonged We Hate Angelina compilation that plays.
Oh yeah, the montage.
A masterpiece of editing. It's just a montage of all of her worst moments and everybody being upset with her. And we find out all of this is over a 3-month relationship, to which it made me go, oh my god.
Yeah.
Because all this time it implies that she's been with this guy for a while. 3 months? All of this for 3... I mean, I get it. You're young. You're in a relationship. 3 months can feel very important. But he's married to somebody else.
Well, I do have some extra information about that I'm so excited to share.
I think this is the perfect time.
Do you? Do I share it? No, I'm going to wait till the end of the episode because I know for a fact I'm going to go off on so many different tangents.
You're not going to do it in the... All right, well, yeah, we'll finish it here.
Just keep in mind, you have to stay tuned if you want this information, people.
That's right. Don't skip ahead. You're not allowed.
Yeah.
However, we then come to kind of a bummer.
Yeah,
which is JWoww calls up her boyfriend. And I'm going to be honest with you, this episode really made me like JWoww a lot more. Her relationship with Ronnie is really cute. I like them being buds. And I really thought... probably the most human anyone has been in this show so far is her kind of having to decide that she wants to call up her boyfriend and admit the secret. It is slightly undercut that she has to do it on a cartoon duck phone.
That can't be an easy call to make.
Did
you also notice her shirt that she wears when she does it?
I didn't.
It said "Dirty Filthy Beast" on it.
Oh,
so just
no.
so our listeners have a little visual. It's JWoww, fabulous, wonderful JWoww and her "Dirty Filthy Beast" t-shirt on a duck phone, having to tell her boyfriend.
Very hard conversation, and she tells him. She tries to fix things with him, and what I honestly, again, for the cast of the Jersey Shore, an immensely mature way to approach this. Where she admits she made a mistake, she wants to fix it, she's really sorry, she didn't know, and he hangs up on her, and then she kind of goes into the other room and is like, hey everybody, this happened, I'm really torn up about it, and Polly immediately is like, hey!
Can't be that torn up about it, because you kissed me in the mouth.
Yeah! An opportunity. Well, no, Polly does this too. It's Polly, and I think Vinny also gets involved in it. But Polly is just like, yeah, he literally says, this is an opportunity. And I'm like, oh my god, you're the worst.
Yeah, it's not great.
Polly plummeted in my estimations this episode.
Yeah, those boys will be a roller coaster. I feel like everybody in the show is a roller coaster. I feel like they're all very human. I feel like I really like them all in different parts, and I'm also very disappointed sometimes in them in different parts. But I also feel like if my life was on a camera, a lot of that sentiment would also be applied to me. So
I had the thought during this episode that I wish that during all this relationship drama and all this stuff happening, I really wish that this episode would cut back to Snooki in her room just eating pickles. It would be, because there's long lengths of time where we have no idea where she is.
Snooki is not very prominent in this episode, no.
Yeah, she wasn't last episode either.
Which is, I think, it's a bad move.
Yeah, I just would love it if periodically they cut to what she's doing and she's just eating pickles.
Just eating pickles and hanging out with her friend Mike, I guess.
I think if I was on this show, I would just be on the other side of the couch from Snooki every once in a while we'd just be reaching over and grabbing a pickle from the pickle jar and just watching all this happen.
Yeah, that's like their popcorn.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of were, because you sent me a picture of yourself eating pickles as you watched this episode.
I did, and I sent a picture of me eating one of those little mini pickles, and I told Jay that this is the actual size of pickle that Snooki was eating.
It was to scale because Nik is a skyscraper.
I am 6'3".
Yeah.
I'm 6'3", so if I was to meet Snooki, it would be like Attack on Titan.
That could be the kaiju movie,
offense.
Nik versus Snooki.
Exactly. No offense to Snooki. We love you here.
Podcast.
Don't do anything bad. I know that it's already happened.
Star versus superstar.
I know it's already happened. You can't change if things bad have happened in the past, Snooki. But I will be so disappointed if I come out in such strong support of you early on, and then you do something terrible in like season 3 or something.
Who could say?
Jay's
Not
giving me a
me.
look.
I'm not saying nothing. I think they all have their ups and downs.
So yeah, JWoww has a bad time.
Yeah.
And then Snooki introduces her friend Ryder. And I feel like I've been talking about my girlfriend Kendall a lot in this episode, more than I normally do, but I need to bring her up again because Kendall sat up with interest when Ryder showed up. And Kendall was like, "Oh, hello, Ryder," and then said, quote, "She could play an elf." Kendall's
right
a big
on.
Ryder fan.
And then hear that, Ryder? You got like an immediate fan out there. That is so funny.
Kendall like lit up at the sight of Ryder.
Ryder got such a strong reaction from Kendall.
Look, she's not an unattractive lady, but I was also a little surprised.
By any means, it's just like I don't think Ryder really does much in this episode. So for her to just show up and Kendall to be like, wow.
She did something for her.
Yeah.
I will say, so she and Snooki go to a bar that is not like a club. It seems like it's a bar, and they start just fucking dancing around. And all the middle-aged men in this bar have varying levels of interest.
Yeah, there's like one guy that's so digging it. He's kind of like laughing and nodding along, like
there's
he
one
thinks
guy
this is
who's
the best thing
loving
he's
this.
ever seen. And then there's some guy that looks actually like their age who just looks. He just has the most judgmental look on his face. He looks like kind of mildly bored and annoyed that these two hot girls are clubbing right in front of him. It's so weird.
This reminded me again, and it's interesting given what you told me about what happened with Club Karma. This made me think that at this point in time in 2009, being a normal person living around the Jersey Shore must have been a nightmare. If you're like just a normal person wanting to have a boring, mundane life, that's like being in The Purge.
My
It's like living in Mad Max.
My understanding is, I mean, granted, I think it maybe got a lot worse after the filming of Jersey Shore, because I'm sure then everybody was like me and you, like, holy cow, let's go down there and party like they did, or whatever. I think it still was a party spot before, huh?
Most things in the world, I think, got worse after the filming of the Jersey Shore.
Some things got better.
But yeah, they go to this bar and then leave being like, they didn't even want us to dance. I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's that type of bar, Snooki.
It could have been. People would have been fun.
And then Ronnie and Sammy just have a nice night going out and doing mini golf and everything.
But,
like,
what did they do before that, though? They invited Mike to go on their date with them.
Oh, that's right! No, they don't invite Mike.
Sammy did.
Sammy invites Mike, and Mike is furious. Yeah. Because Mike doesn't want to do it. He's in his swim trunks, because at this point, Ryder and Snooki have come back, and at the sight of another woman, the situation, like, locks in on a new target.
He does.
He also is interested in Ryder.
Ryder did to Situation what she did to Kendall.
Exactly. I will say the Situation, I don't know if you noticed, he cannot keep his tongue in his mouth throughout this portion of the thing. Like,
I have not noticed.
In the little, like, floating head interviews and the in the episode, he just keeps like, like, every time he's just like licking his lips everywhere. And I'm just like, dude, calm down. There's like a bit where Snooki kind of gives him a little bit of a look when he's looking at Ryder, and I think it's because his tongue he's like Venom. His tongue is all over the place.
I didn't notice that. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch. No, but like, yeah, Sammy's like, just come out with us, Mike. I mean, like, we're just gonna go like to mini golf and cards. You just come as like a friend. It's cool. I don't want anybody to feel weird or like we can't be friends or whatever.
No.
And Mike's like, I'm good. Like, no,
I'm not even bothered. I'm not even jealous, dude.
Yeah, it's like I do get his point. Like, obviously, if I had just been hitting on a guy and then they kind of like lost interest in me and immediately went for like one of my other roommates or something, and then they're going hot and heavy, but then they invite me out to mini golf too, I'd probably be like, I'm okay.
Keeping in mind, if you did this, you also would have been hooking up with other people this time. It's not just that Sammy said no.
Well, you know, I got a timestamp request here because it does a little headshot interview of him, and he goes, I got a lot of my own stuff going on, actually. I'm really busy. Yeah.
When it comes to Ronnie and Sammy, it's like, I don't know, I have my own relationship with Sammy, and we're like really, really tight. And I'm not even really jealous about the Ronnie-Sammy situation because, I mean, I just have so much going on myself that I have no time to really think about them two right now.
It's good. Yeah, well, I have a time code in a minute here as well for what happens in a moment. But first, I have a note here that just says, Ronnie's silly little hat.
Oh yeah, he wears like a little.
I love his.
What do you
silly
call that?
little
Trilby?
Yeah, it's like a little like trilby. I don't know if it's made of straw or if it's just straw colored.
It's not made for his size. It seems comically small.
It is tiny on his head, and he's walking around in his tight shirt and short shorts.
It's on him sideways. I don't think it's because Ronnie was wearing that as a stylistic choice. I think it has to be on sideways to go on his big head.
It's the only way it can fit on his head.
It's the only way it stays on.
It's like if you tried to have King Kong wear a hat.
Yeah.
I've been trying to not make too many King Kong comparisons between Ronnie and King Kong. I don't know if he'd appreciate them or not, but I did think them because, again, Ronnie is a massive man.
He's big. If you haven't seen him, Google him. He is a big guy.
He's probably as wide as Snooki is tall.
I will say that, like, but yeah, they do have a cute, I will say for Ronnie and Sam here, they do have a really cute day. They go on golf, you know, they do karts and go-karts, and they're just they're being cute.
It looks like a genuinely good time.
Yeah.
However, that can't be allowed to stand because we instead cut to the drama that is Ryder and Snooki getting into the hot tub with, I think it's Situation, Polly, and Vinny.
Yeah, I think it's all the guys minus Ronnie.
They're all hanging out, and Ryder is sort of sat up on the edge of the hot tub, being a little flirty with Situation and all that, because she doesn't know any better. And Snooki decides that she wants to make out with somebody, in her words, and just goes over and starts making out with Ryder. I'm gonna, real quick, just a snippet of what Snooki has to say about it.
I had a feeling where I wanted to make out with somebody, so I just made out with Ryder, because all the guys like that.
Is it about, I just made out with her, all the boys like that?
Yeah, well, and also just her whole, I wanted to make out with somebody, so I decided to make out with her. So she goes over and starts making out with Ryder, and they both seem to be having a good time with it. All the guys are like, oh my god! And then it cuts to a cutting ahead interview of the Situation, which I will have put in that clip as well, of him just being like, yeah. Like, he doesn't even know what to do. His brain short circuits at the sight of two women kissing.
And then, like, then Snooki starts making out with Mike.
Yeah,
she
starts making out with the Situation, and honestly has a really good view on it, where she's like, if it leads to something more, whatever, but I like making out. And I'm like, good on you, Snooki.
Yeah,
you understand the
fun.
assignment.
Yeah,
she understands what the show is. Ryder seems to be all for Snooki making out with the situation. They're all having a great time. And then Ryder disappears. When the world needed her most, she vanished.
Yeah. Maybe good King Kong got her.
Oh no, I hope not. I hope Ryder comes back.
But yeah,
otherwise Ken will stop watching the show.
Oh no. Then we cut to Sammy and Ronnie. It seems to be post smushing.
Oh, I thought it was pre-smushing.
No, I'm pretty sure it's post smushing. I'm pretty sure it's right after they have sex and they're kind of cuddling in the guest room, because they go into the guest room and then there's like, and the other roommates make a big deal like, oh, the guest room's preoccupied, guess who's in there? And it's those two. And then we
it has a bigger bed.
Huh?
That's what they say. It has a bigger bed.
More privacy. Yeah, you don't have to share it with the roommate that is too busy to hang out with you and absolutely does not want you.
JWoww would have covered for him. She's a real one.
But yeah, so they're in the smush room, and it's. Did you catch what he's saying to her? So it's I'm pretty sure it's post sex. So we're running with the assumption that this is post sex, and they're cuddling, and he says, "You're mad cool. I like you a lot."
Yeah, poetry.
I love
poetry.
But then I know I've done some timestamp requests, but I have another timestamp request right here.
Is this the one where she apologizes to her mom?
No, that's funny too. This is the one where he goes, I know I talked a big game about, like, don't eat where you shit, but I would roll around in my shit all day for her.
I like her, to be honest with you. At first, I was all about, like, I'm not gonna where I sleep, but, I mean, for her, I'll roll around in my all day, to be honest with you. I don't even care at this point.
That's a good one. I liked that, and then I also liked the whole thing of her being, like, pulling the blankets over and being like, sorry, Mom. And it's like, yeah, that's rough that your mom's watching this.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, right. And then we get to the most stressful part of the episode, which, again, audience, keep in mind, I thought that there was going to be something in this episode that I wasn't allowed to joke about because it was really serious. So when they start lighting the grill and Polly puts charcoal in it and it starts catching on fire, I was like, oh God, is something really bad about to happen? And then it's all fine. And I'm like, Jay, what are you talking about?
We can't talk about the house fire that almost happened.
I thought the propane was going to explode.
It's too soon to talk about the charcoal propane fire.
I will say I was nervous the whole time. I was nervous about the fact that they weren't using oven mitts. At my work, in the break room, we'll have various shows on in the background, and there's this survival show. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like people get dropped off in the Alaskan wilderness and are as do their thing. And the number of people who have to tap out because they accidentally burn their hand burn or cut their hand while doing something has been like half of them. And so I'm seeing
it's like when you take a personal item, instead of like taking like an army Swiss knife, people should just take an oven mitt.
I was saying they should take those cut-proof gloves. Yeah, you know the type of show I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But so they're like going and they're trying to lift up this lid, and I'm just there like, put an oven mitt on. You were gonna burn the hell out of your hand. And thankfully, it doesn't seem like they somehow got out of this scot-free.
They kind of scorched the back of the wall of the house a bit, but that's about it. But
situation is honestly understandably like, dude, you don't put charcoal in a propane grill. What are you doing?
But then I think they were gonna cook on it still.
Yeah, I mean, it's heated up. Might as well.
But you know what? We flipped the castmates a lot of shit. Understandably, obviously, that's kind of the fun of watching this. I'm gonna open up the opportunity to let them give me some shit, because I watched this scene. I am not a cook. I am not a grill. I'm not in the culinary room. I am not a grill. And I turned to Ben because I was watching this part with him, and I said, "Why did it catch on fire?" And
they tell you in the episode. Ben
so patiently was like, because they used charcoal on a propane grill. And then literally 2 seconds later, Mike was like, you don't put charcoal on a propane grill.
Oh my God.
So you know what?
You're not allowed to mess with my grill. Though my grill's a little tiny, shitty charcoal grill, so unless you added propane, you'd be fine.
Yeah. No, I'm okay. I'm
Oh,
not a
man.
grill. I'm not a grill, and I won't be grilling.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's I mean, it's an understandable mistake. Here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, why were all of the cast not walked through how the appliances work?
Have you
That's a
ever been walked
producer
through how
problem.
all the appliances work at places you rent? Because I haven't.
Well, like, you go to an Airbnb and they'll usually have like a little booklet or whatever. But if you're expected to live somewhere for ages and it's going to be recorded, you'd think that you'd have a producer be like, oh, by the way, here's how the grill works. So
Are you
burn
sure?
The place
Because
down.
a house fire would be pretty big trouble.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Oh,
Yeah.
boy. That's true.
Maybe
That's
there
good
was a
point.
booklet. Maybe Danny left them a nice little booklet about
burned
how
it.
the grill worked, and the producers found that, and they tossed that shit.
They tossed it. That was what they tossed instead of the duck phone.
Yeah. They left the duck phone in, but they kept...
So, yeah, it's, it nearly goes... What was bothering me, though, is I'm like, where's the fire extinguisher? And then they find it that was my version of, like, where is it? And then they find it a few minutes later, because I was just like, guys, you need to deal with this right now.
They find it, they spray down the grill has all this, like, chemical foam shit on it, and they're like, we can still cook on this, right?
Yeah, and they're fine. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Ronnie roasts the situation for how he looks at himself in the mirror and then goes, And I thought that was kind of a cute scene of just them being friends and
Yeah.
kind of teasing each other.
Being silly, yeah.
They all seem to be happier without Angelina here, I write in my notes.
Yeah.
I also made a note. Did you notice that JWoww has colored contacts in for some of these scenes?
I always suspected that, because I thought her eyes were brown, but sometimes they were like a bright blue.
Yeah, so it's throwing me because they have two talking head segments, right? Like, almost back to back. And in one of them, her eyes are vividly blue. And I'm like, I don't remember her eyes being blue. And then the next one, they're brown.
Yeah.
And then they, like, cut around scene to scene. So she's clearly taking them in and out, and they're, like, different times of shots. But it really threw me until I realized what was going on. Because for a second, I thought I was going crazy.
Well, sometimes, though, like, and I'll kind of get into this a little bit before we start talking about the kaiju portion of this episode. So, sorry, King Kong fans. I'm also a Kong fan. More in the Donkey Kong realm, but now in the King Kong realm. Don't
The
laugh.
first member of the DK crew, King Kong.
Yeah.
He's been doing it since 1933.
The OG Kong. But, so I, damn it, what was I? Oh, yeah, so I actually was listening to some of Angelina's podcasts, because she's got a podcast called Hello.
Why you marketing other people's podcasts? Don't jump off our podcast. Angelina probably never talks about King Kong, and we eventually will.
We eventually will, yeah. Angelina, you could come talk about King Kong with us.
We're gonna talk about all the King Kongs eventually, and there's a shocking number of them.
But, but in her podcast, she mentions that, sometimes, like, you know, the interviews take place in different portions. Like, sometimes it'll be, like, after the events all happen, and it'll be, like, weeks later, and then they're kind of called to recollect, hey, how did you feel about this, or what were you thinking at this time? But sometimes they're pulled right after the thing happened. Like, even if it's, like, a physical altercation.
Wondering.
Yeah, even if it's like a physical altercation, the cast members could be like tearing each other's hair out, and then right after the fight happens, the producers grab them and go down to the basement, because that's where the interviews take place. They're like, go down to the basement. We're doing this right now. We're talking about this right now. And they would be like all like their hair would be all fucked up, their makeup would be all screwed up.
Basement.
Yeah, and they weren't allowed to like touch up or anything. They literally had to go right then, right as the
my
feelings were
God.
raw, to get their thoughts recorded and stuff like that.
That's brutal. That's brutal.
That's all part
I
of the
wanna
weird shit they do to these people.
I want to go to the Airbnb that was this house so bad and record an episode in their spooky basement.
How much was it? Like $2K now?
It was like $1 billion.
4K? Yeah. I hope we get sponsored and can
We
do
need
that.
to make a Patreon. Yeah, if any terrible sponsors want to get to us, if any like just online medical sites that are clearly a scam. If they want, we'll take your money.
Yeah, or like anybody that likes to gather up ingredients for people that you know what? Maybe you have a grill. Maybe you have a grill.
Oh.
Maybe you accidentally put charcoal on your propane grill and set your house on fire, and now you don't have a house, but more importantly, you don't have dinner tonight. And then maybe one of those services that ship
one of those
a whole
meal
plan
kits,
to you.
Get at us, Blue Apron or HelloFresh or whatever all these are.
HelloFresh, Goodbye Fresh, I'll take any of the fresh.
Any of them. If you want to hit us up, give us money. We'll talk about your food.
Yeah.
I'll say it's the best food I've ever had in my life. It'll take you forever to get it to Jay, because Jay lives in the middle of nowhere. But I'll eat it.
But we
do you think our audience likes listening to us beg for people with money to notice us between talking about the Jersey Shore cast and sponsors? Do you think our audience likes this, or do you think they click the forward 10 seconds button repeatedly?
Both. I think the type of people that would listen to us are also broke and might relate to shameless begging.
Yeah, I mean, audience, let us know in whatever app you're listening to. Get in the comments and raise that engagement.
Raise that engagement, and also tell me how to make money and how grills work. Please leave that in the comments. I need it.
Don't ask Jay to go work in a kitchen, though, because it will go poorly.
But yeah, we're almost at the end of this episode. There's another important thing that happens, though, before we need to talk about.
So yeah, they all go back to Club Karma. Ronnie and Sammy are being cute. I'm at this point worried because I know that we're close to the end of the episode, and I still think that something's gonna happen that is going to make it so it's deeply dark and we're not allowed to talk about it. So I'm like, oh my god, what's gonna happen?
I wouldn't say we're not allowed to talk about it. There's something next episode that's going to be a bit more serious. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You got to stay tuned to the next episode to figure out what that is.
We're 100% going to talk about it in this episode because it's in the next time. So a lot happens here. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to try and break down what exactly happens.
You do, and you break it down. I'm not going to interrupt you.
So, Vinny, please do, because I'm not sure I fully understand. So,
well, I'm gonna clarify for you after you break it down.
Vinny brings Ronnie out onto the dance floor to party it up. Ronnie goes into detail about this dance that he knows. That is not important. Sammy sees Ronnie dancing nearby another woman, some blonde lady who we are not introduced to. Mm-hmm. And she decides, fuck this, I'm gonna give this police officer guy I know my number, and I'm gonna be flirty with him. Mm-hmm. So she is getting all flirty with this guy because she says something like, I just get that way. She starts being flirty with police officer man. Then ShayWow, because she's a real one, goes over to Ronnie and is like, hey, Sammy is getting real close with this other guy. Then Ronnie gets upset about this, and instead of going over and yelling at Sammy or being confrontational, he just decides to leave and kind of, take a moment. He goes back home. I want to point out, as he's leaving, you see that the situation is fully making out with the woman in question, the blonde lady. They don't really focus on it.
Notice that.
Yeah, you just see him in the corner just making out with this woman, which makes this whole situation so funny.
It is, and you know what? Years and years and years of watching Jersey Shore, I actually never noticed that until this watch through, and I was watching this particular episode with my friend Deanna, who was visiting me at the time, and we were watching this together, and she goes, oh my god, that's so funny that Mike's making out with her, and I go, what?
It's so funny. This is what happens when you sit and you take notes on these. You notice so many little details.
No, it was good.
He's making out with this lady, and then Ronnie goes back home. He's so angry that when he walks through the door, he immediately pulls his shirt off, like the Hulk, and then goes to bed and just sort of lays face down on his bed, feeling really bummed out. And then JWoww, being a bud, is like, I'm gonna go and make sure he's okay. And then Sammy loses her shit because JWoww went home with Ronnie.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
think there's
here
something
like,
going on there.
just call him.
Well,
It's
they don't
like
have cell phones.
That's true. I forgot. I
Yeah.
had forgotten that the prison that they are being held in does not give them phones. But I'm like, the episode kind of ends there. And it's just such an avoidable situation because all that happened that started this was a woman danced next to Ronnie. And
It
then
did look
made
like
out
they
with
were
the
dancing
situation.
together, but it wasn't like she was grinding on him. They literally
they
were
weren't
just
touching.
bopping around.
Also, remember, we see like a snippet of them dancing. Probably the snippet where they were the absolute closest for drama purposes. So they weren't like next to each other. Jay, you and I have been to a club.
Yeah.
You and I have danced closer than they have. And we are not what I would say romantic dancers.
No. And what's more importantly is nobody got upset in this situation because I'm assuming Kendall's like...
We don't know if Sammy wasn't there in the corner getting upset and flirting with a cop about it. She could have been there seeing us dancing on the dance floor and being furious. We don't know.
That's true. Yeah, maybe... yeah.
So yeah, that's where the episode ends. And then there is a preview for next episode.
I thought this happened at the end of this episode, which is where I got confused. It was warning Nick, we gotta handle this one sensitively, because I want to handle it sensitively, but this is what I thought.
The preview for next episode features a bunch of stuff. I don't remember any of it, because what I remember is that Snooki gets fucking punched in the face by some guy, hits the ground hard, and then there's the bit that was in this season, and in episode 1, at the end of that one, there's the bit where a guy, assumedly the person who punched Snooki, is being led to a cop car, and you just hear, "You're going to prison."
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god! And I remembered I do this stupid podcast, so I couldn't just start watching the next episode.
Yeah.
Which is the sacrifice I do for all of you people.
That's a big one in the Jersey Shore, like, archives, or whatever you want to call it. Like, that is one of the biggest episodes, for sure.
I am fascinated to see what happens. Legitimately, that has been the hardest thing so far for me to not just turn on the next episode, because listeners, how this works is, as we've mentioned earlier, Jay's already seen all of Jersey Shore, at least mainline Jersey Shore. I have not. So these episodes, I don't know what happens in the next one. So I have to keep it that way, meaning I don't get to find out until after we record these episodes. So, yeah, it's, know that I have been, for the last couple days, waiting in anticipation to get to see what happens.
I do feel like you're making the bigger sacrifice than me, because I haven't, like, watched these kaiju monster movies either, but they also get wrapped up.
Yeah, they have closure. I
get the whole beginning, middle, and end of each individual movie. You're just caught waiting. You don't know.
Well, eventually we'll get to watching some of the kaiju TV shows, at which point you'll get to suffer
then
as I have.
Then the roles will flip, yeah.
I'm excited to show you Monarch at some point. Which I have something to say about that later in this episode. But
should we get to the little fun extra information I have about?
Please do.
Because I went into some deep dives.
I want to hear everything you know about Angelina.
Okay, so this was actually only recently released on in Family Vacation, I think, So, in September 22nd, 2023, the cast went to Atlantic City because the mayor there, Mary Small Sr., I don't know if she's still the mayor currently today or not, but back then she's the mayor, and she was declaring the day Jersey Shore Day. You might ask yourself why Atlantic City is declaring a Jersey Shore Day, in which case I will tell you, maybe the cast go to Atlantic City at some point and do something there. Anyway, so the mayor of Atlantic City is declaring September 22nd Jersey Shore.
They destroy Atlantic City in like an epic, like Super Saiyan battle.
Yeah,
it's like Chicago and Invincible.
But anyway, they're at this.
Oh my God.
I guess they're at this event or something and getting interviewed and kind of reminiscing on older times. And it's then, keep in mind, season 1 was filmed 2009. This is 2023. They're getting kind of reminiscing about old times, and it's revealed that Mike tapped Angelina to be on the show, so they actually knew each other before the show. I think all of the cast members kind of variously knew each other or knew of each other in small ways. None of them were super close, I guess, but Mike tapped Angelina to get on the show because they were kind of asking Mike, do you know anybody that would be a good fit? And he's like, you should get Angelina. And the reason he did that was because they were kind of dating. They went on like 4 dates.
Oh my God. So
before filming, and then they had to pretend they didn't know each other.
And this is the same Mike who also had this conversation with his college sweetheart going into this show.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm assuming
my
they had this
man was juggling women at this point in time.
You know, I hadn't thought about that. That could be true. I don't exactly know when that conversation took place. I don't know if it was before that and then he started seeing Angelina, or if it was during that. They weren't together. They were talking about getting together. So I will say that for him. But I don't know. But yeah,
but then she got with this guy who was married.
Yeah, so Angelina went on 4 dates with Mike, and I don't know if she was hoping something would happen or what was going on. Then somehow she ends up involved with this married guy. But yeah, so in Angelina's like words, the real reason she left season 1 was because like she still had unresolved feelings for Mike, you know, and then she's watching Mike try to get with Sammy, and then just watching Mike get with these other girls, and like she was in like the first, you can see it in like the first few episodes, like she is like trying to cock block him a lot.
But she's with somebody at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a hypocrisy. But...
Angelina.
But okay, I think that gives a lot of context.
To wring some spoilers out of you. So she's with them at this point in family vacation. She's returned.
Mm-hmm.
Jay's staring me down, audience.
Are you asking me?
Yes, I'm asking you. I'm not asking the audience. They can't answer me.
You said it like a statement.
We're not live streaming this, Jay. I can't look to the chat.
Well, Angelina maybe shows up in family vacation. Maybe it's like how she shows up in family vacation in a similar style to how she does in the OG series. She's there for some of it, not all of it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
She's there for the final battle.
So yeah, I thought some interesting things I learned was some interesting Angelina lore. It was that, because I thought that added a lot of context. So, cause you know, it does humanize her in a way that like, is she making the best decisions at this time of her life? No, but she's also really young, but she's like involved with this married guy. She still has feelings for Mike. Mike is getting with a lot of girls. That's probably hard to watch. And then like, you know, and she's being held in the statin. What?
It both adds and removes context somehow.
Yeah.
Because I'm also, what you've told me about Mike is I'm like, he is the one who is probably pushing the hardest to hook up with people. So I am baffled by so much of how this man's mind works.
I don't know.
I assume it doesn't work this way anymore. I assume he's grown up a bit.
Yeah. Well, he's married and has kids, and he and Laura seem to be doing good, as far as I know.
If either of them want to show up.
Hey, love to have you.
Laura, you're welcome too as well. We don't know anything about you, but...
Yeah.
Hop on board.
She seems sweet, from what I've seen. And what I've read in his autobiography, which was really good. I really highly encourage any fan of Jersey Shore or Mike the Situation to pick it up. But, yeah, so I've got
brought up in the comic book he has coming out?
Oh, well, it's not coming out. It's already out.
Oh,
it was out for a long time, and I bought it.
Have you read it yet?
I've read through I skimmed it. I haven't read the whole thing yet. I need to read the whole thing, but it was pretty great. It was like a very superhero-y Mike the Situation is like it seems to make it one of his brothers the bad guy, and I think it was done in good fun. I think his brother like was because they took a family picture in the back, so there's like his brother.
It's like a very Jonas Christmas.
Yeah, kind of. They're kind of just like kind of poking fun at themselves. His sister Melissa's in it, and yeah.
Man. Maybe I'll have to take a break from reading Absolute Batman and read
Please do. I think he gets
Situation
I
Man.
think he gets kind of his super strength power from a tanning bed.
That's right. You showed me that bit. Do you think that the tone of the Situation comic will fit well if I'm in the headspace of reading Absolute Batman?
Yes.
Okay, great.
But yeah, so there was that. There was also so like I had mentioned before, Angelina has her own podcast called Hello. She kind of regularly gets other reality star guests and stuff, and even I think some musicians. I think she had like Ghostface Killer as an interview and things like that from Wu-Tang Clan, but
Whoa.
so she gets a lot of her own kind of guests and things like that. So I haven't listened to all of it. I want to at some point, but I was listening to an episode where she did a Q&A about like kind of the early Jersey Shore thing, which was how I learned that basement fact is where they did the interviews. And she said some other things she kind of revealed on it was like one of the questions was asked was like, was this scripted? Like, you know, in season 1 and 2 and things like that, was the show scripted? And she said, no, there was absolutely no scripting. You know, nobody necessarily like told them what they had to say, but all their reactions are real. However, they would do things like clearly there was like there was the no notes, no cell phones, you know, no reading books, things like that. But then also she mentioned like one thing that stood out to her, and this was more of a season 2 thing. But she was mad at Mike, the situation over something in season 2. And she asked,
she's
like...
back in season 2.
Yeah, this is in OG season 2. And she asks one of the producers, like, can I, like, take the car out? Because they have, like, a communal car they share. And she's asking him, can I take the car out to go somewhere? And she's mad at Mike. And they go, sure, you can. But you have to take Mike with you. And she goes, well, can I take one of the other cast members or anybody else, like any of the production crew with me instead? And they go, you're not supposed to be talking to us, we're crew, like, you know, you're not supposed to be talking to us. And they just like tried to freeze her out that way. And then Angelina like kept trying to press it, as like, me and Mike are not getting along right now, like I need some space, I need to get away from him. And they go, we'll deal with it. So just kind of so screwed up, man.
A nightmare.
Yeah, so
this
that was
feels like what people do to people in The Sims.
Yeah, it does. It feels very push her in the pool and take away the ladder type.
Exactly. Very, you know.
But
maybe that'll tie into my connecting themes between this and King Kong.
Yeah, and then for anyone interested in listening to that particular segment, it was her August 22nd, 2025 episode is where I listened to that. So another couple of things interesting that she said in that was like she had an app. She was involved with an app, something where you paid money to activate a feeder for animals. So, like, they were hungry animals, and if you paid money on this app, and you could watch a little video of it, you would pay money, and that money would drop the food to the animals for them to eat. Like, it was some sort of, they were animals in some sort of, she didn't mention which country it was, but she said it was from some foreign country. And so she was trying to help get these animals fed. And her co-host pointed out, like, well, if they have the animals right there, and they have the food right there,
I was about to ask
Angelina,
this.
I think they might just be taking advantage of you, trying to get money from you and whoever else is using this app. So
yeah, for real. Like, you have the food.
Yeah, like
I
think her
that same thing.
Her heart was in the right place, but yeah, I also kind of like they clearly have some means of getting food. It seems like they're just withholding food to these animals. It seems a bit like they're being sadistic and maybe robbing people.
Yeah, that's less than ideal.
She is writing a book. I don't know what that's called yet or when that's coming out, but she did mention she's in the process of writing a book that might be a tell-all, so look forward to that.
Is she writing a comic book? Absolute Angelina.
I hope so.
She's 7 feet tall in this version and just absolutely shredded.
Yeah. And just so we're not like totally like I don't want to totally shit all over a person either. Like one of the questions she was asked was like, what was like one of your like best takeaways from this experience, or like something that really was meaningful to you? And she says she's had fans come to her like kind of at a really hard place in their own lives and like talking about like wanting to end it. And she actually talks with her fans that approach her like with that. Like I don't know if they message her or if they see her on the street and they kind of get to talking with her and mention things or whatever. And she like will sit there and talk with them and be like, it's not worth it. You have value. You're important. So like, she talks her fans off like ledges and things. I think that's a very nice thing. She doesn't have to go out of her way to do, but she does.
Sounds like she should have a superhero comic then.
Yeah.
That's some Superman shit right there.
Yeah, so I like everybody's a person. We all have our bad moments and our good ones.
Again, and like I talk a lot of smack as somebody who, again, I'm seeing these people mostly through the worst point in their life.
Yeah.
Just them being mistreated and
exploited.
Encouraged to be chaotic weirdos. Yeah. It is good to hear moments about, you're not actually a terrible person. Angelina, I think you were terrible in this episode. But I also know that's hardly fair to who you probably are like 20 years later. So
yeah. And
good on you. In 20 episodes from now, we're probably going to look back on this episode and go, oh man, we weren't at our best. Look at all the times we begged for people to be on our show.
Yeah. Man, wouldn't it be nice if 20 episodes into the future, somebody will have contacted us either in production or cast, and then we can look back and be like, remember when we were begging?
Yeah, 20 episodes from now, we'll get a cease and desist.
Yeah. 20 episodes, we're cease and desist lists.
King Kong will have sent us an email telling us to stop or else.
He
won't like my joke about killing a woman. About having killed Kendall.
So I did go on a bit of an Angelina rabbit hole, because this was all me at first trying to find any information about that married man, Mike. I couldn't find much about him, but I found a lot of extra stuff about Angelina, and I'm so glad. This is the last piece of Angelina trivia I'm going to give. It's going to be a roller coaster, so hang on and bear with me. So, at one point, let me find the exact date I wrote it. So, in October of 2012, Angelina gets onto this website called, I don't know how exactly it's pronounced, it's DEEEYOON, so deyoon.com or something. And Nick, you might be excited to learn that deyoon.com apparently is a website where you can debate anybody about anything. And I said, oh my god, I found Nick's new favorite place.
I can debate Angelina. What's it spelled? What's it called?
It's called deyoon.com. I'll send you I could just send you a link to it, but just before I even continue with this, and we don't have to put all of this, we can cut out some of this time in the podcast, but just look at this website, because if this isn't just a playground for you.
Alright, Deyoon, visit site. Oh my god. What?
Did you know this place existed? I didn't.
I did not know this place existed.
Angelina
Popular debates right now. Obama or Rodney? I think that's a little...
It might be older. I don't know. Maybe it's defunct now, but...
That says right now. And there's also stuff about... Oh my goodness.
That says right now. That's a hot debate. Is Obama versus Romney.
Obama or Romney. I'm going to click on it.
I wish that was the debate we were having today in politics.
Okay, interesting. It says right now, but that is a closed debate. Arts and entertainment. Let's see here.
Yeah, see what the latest in arts and entertainment they're debating is. That I'd be interested to know.
The most recent one looks like Global Trade 2025. Blockchain is the backbone of logistics.
Okay. Well, 2025.
Let's see here. Debate rooms, art and entertainment. Oh my god, can I get in one right now?
What if we both just debated each other right now?
It doesn't look like I don't know how you're supposed to be able to hop. A lot of these are from 2012. Most of these appear to be from sometime in 2012.
Well, that makes sense if maybe that was the DU's like heyday or whatever, because that's when Angelina got into a controversial debate on that website.
Oh no! Okay, it appears to be defunct. I just clicked get started and it sent me to an error message.
Oh no, we can't fight each other in
Tragic.
public. We have to do it. That's a lie. We could do that
That's
right
what we're
now.
doing right now.
Yeah.
All right,
But-
so what are you thinking, Obama or Romney?
Well, what side do you take? Because I'll win no matter what side I'm on.
Well, Obama, because
Okay, I'll be
I
Mitt
have history
Romney.
on my side. All right, cool.
Okay, you start.
I'm not going to do an Obama impression.
No one's
really
asking you to
considered
do
it
an
for a
Obama.
second.
You're
For
already
a-
handing me the upper
for
hand
a-
in this debate.
for a
You're
second,
already
I
handing
was-
me the.
For
I'm
a
already
second,
winning,
because
just so
we
you know,
said
just
that
from
we
that alone.
for a second, because we said we're going to be these two people, like, should I do an impression? And then I went, no, Nick, don't do that. Well, Obama wins the election.
Counterpoint. I don't believe anything I read on the internet, so who knows if he won the election.
Counterpoint. Obama narrates a ocean documentary on Netflix. What's Mitt Romney doing?
Question. How did you learn about that?
It showed up in my Netflix recommended.
Counterpoint. Netflix is on the internet, and I don't believe anything on the internet, so
Oh,
your point
shit.
doesn't hold up.
Counterpoint. We're on the internet right now.
Oh, okay, counterpoint. Just bear with me. Chat GPT.
Is that on the internet?
Hold on. Chat GPT. I'm gonna win this.
Oh no.
How
We
is
don't
Mitt
encourage the use of
Romney
AI.
better
We
than
don't encourage
Obama?
it. We don't
Hold on, it's
encourage it
thinking.
at all. Oh god, you're killing a rainforest.
Oh my god, it's typing so much.
Oh no.
Just tell me what angle you want. Tell me how to win a debate where somebody says Obama is better. Oh no, I have to sign up now. This is too much.
I'm gonna have to cut all of this. I'm gonna have to cut all of this from the episode. This is too long.
I give up. Okay, sorry. I'll get back to Angelina, and then we can actually talk about King Kong.
Oh
So-
no.
Anyway, now that we know that this site
all
did
staying in.
exist, Angelina got into a controversial debate with a I believe his name was Adam Barta, and he was kind of like he made some kind of like club hits that ended up on the top dance charts back in that day, and he was kind of a reality TV star, LITE, so he's not big as the Jersey cast, but I think he made some appearances on a few. I can look more into that if anybody's actually interested, but kind of the point is he got into a debate with Angelina on this website about gay marriage. And Angelina...
Oh boy, that was the era.
Huh? Yeah, and
That was the
Angelina was
era.
not pro gay marriage. Angelina fought against it, and I'll put the sources to all these articles I found. I believe what she had said...
No. So, Jay, I find it interesting that you put this after you said all the things of she's not that bad of a person. We support her. She makes some mistakes.
Nick, and viewers or listeners, I told you to bear with me. This is a roller coaster, but I have to get into the nitty gritty. So she said, I don't think gays should be married. If you want to date each other, fine. See what works. In the end, you should marry your other type. You know what I mean. If you're a male, marry a female. If you're a female, marry a male. I don't think it has anything to do with taxes. I understand you're a citizen, but I don't believe gays should be married. And, she kind of... I'm not going to say the whole everything on it, but yeah, she was kind of debating they can't carry babies, and men should give women beautiful children. So that was the stance she decided to take.
No.
And Adam Barta,
Angelina.
Adam Barta was debating pro. And anyway, so I think when was this apology? She did end up making it a public apology.
Yeah,
But I think it was
so.
just a week or two later. Huh?
I'd hope so.
Yeah, a week or two later,
That's
she
pretty
makes
rough.
a public apology, and she says, I apologize to anyone I have offended. Many of my gay friends reached out to me afterwards to inform me of how ignorant my comments were. I wouldn't want anyone to tell me that I couldn't marry the person I loved, and I don't want to do that to anyone else regardless of sexual orientation. I think other people like me can have their minds changed once they meet gay couples and families. We shouldn't ban love or marriage for happy couples. That's un-American, you know? So she does make an apology. But for the fun part, she then connected with Adam Barta, who she'd gotten that debate with, and they made a music video together to support gay marriage.
Oh no.
It's good. I'm gonna send you this link.
Yeah, okay. This is really good content for our audio listeners.
For our audio listeners, maybe we could put a snippet of the song in it, but yeah.
I don't think we should. I think we
It's
get in trouble
called
for that.
the single is on Spotify. So actually, I'm sending them a plug. You're welcome. But it's called Serendipity. It is on Spotify, but there's a music video on YouTube too.
All right. I'm gonna.
Yeah, this is where we will have you're gonna have to edit out this long pause of you watching it, but I would like your reaction of what you think.
All right. Let's see here. Uh-huh. Man, you're making editing this episode really hard for me, Jay.
Sorry. But I had to share this. I was so excited to find this.
I mean, nothing says gay rights like a 12-year-old music video of two people in front of a blinding white background.
I think she was also doing some stuff with equality charities and stuff too also during this time, so, you know.
Do you think that she joined any charities where gay people would be fed if only you sent them some money? The food was already there, but that way they would help them out?
Maybe. Feed the gays.
Yeah.
But, no, I don't know.
Needless to say, listener, Jay and I are in support of gay marriage.
Yeah.
I think that has existed in America for a good while now.
Even if it wasn't, though, I would still be pro gay marriage.
I don't know, Jay. You said you wanted to support Mitt Romney.
That was for a debate.
It's another thing Obama made possible, Jay.
Oh. But,
I mean, to be fair, a lot of people besides just him made that possible. I don't think we should give Obama all the credit of that one.
And blame Obama.
Yeah.
Thanks, Obama.
I'm gonna stop this video, dear Lord.
But,
edit all of this out. Oh my Lord.
But anyway, so I don't know. I thought it was kind of a fun little. I thought it was just a fun little Angelina story to end on, like, because I think it does take a lot. You know, I think these people get put through the ringer on every wrong thing they've said or done or things like that. And granted, sometimes it's deserved, but even so, like, it's not like all the dumb or stupid or ignorant things we've said in our lives are recorded in the public and we're raked over the coals for it. So I feel like it is kind of a big thing to be able to publicly be like, no, I was wrong, and then to turn around and do something fun with it like she did, like help make the music video and help donate to charities. And I thought that was kind of cool. I liked that.
I agree. You probably should have ended on the she helps talk her fans off of jumping off a building. That was a far higher high to end on than, by the way, she was against gay marriage and was very public about it.
But that made a fun music video. Watch it.
It was an alright music video.
It was an alright music video. It wasn't a super crazy music video. It is an interesting listen.
You know, good on her. Good on her.
Yeah. So Angelina, polarizing figure, but
Angelina,
very human.
You're welcome to show up on our podcast, though.
Yeah. Well,
we'd love to have you. We'll do a music video with you, by the way.
Yeah, I would love to do a music video with you.
We're not musicians, but we'll figure it out.
That's a lie. I will buy any Fisher-Price instrument you want and play it.
We do have a theme song that we could do a music video to, though. So
that's true, Angelina. If you want to do a music video for our podcast theme
about
song,
a 30-second long music video, it wouldn't take you very long.
I'll let you have full creative control of it.
We'll let you dress up as Godzilla.
Yeah. All right. Well, should we get into some King Kong 1933?
I think that it is time to start monkeying around. King Kong.
Yes.
King Kong.
Kong.
This is
King
probably
Kong.
going to be the oldest movie we talk about on this podcast.
There's no earlier kaiju movie?
There might be some earlier ones, but this is definitely one of the earliest. 1933.
I was gonna be surprised if Godzilla did not come before King Kong.
Godzilla comes 20 years later.
Oh, duh, because the nuclear war. Duh.
Yeah.
That
The
makes
nuclear
sense.
war.
So is King Kong the... Sorry. That was a, that was a very millennial...
That was how they would talk about it.
I can't even blame millennials. That was a very obnoxious way to describe World War II.
That's how they would talk about the war after, in like a post-apocalyptic show. In like Fallout, they'd be like, yes, this is after the nuclear wars.
Well, I meant just like, I know that Godzilla came about because of World War II, and it was kind of like I think an artful way to kind of comprehend the damage caused but
Jade.
I just more meant, so I guess my original question, so is King Kong the earliest kaiju then?
It gets a little complicated based on what you'd consider a kaiju to be, but certainly among the earliest. King Kong's certainly probably the earliest one that still has any relevance.
Okay.
I can't remember how early the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms is. It's probably rather similar in time. I think it may have come after King Kong.
When was 20,000 Fathoms made?
I just said I don't remember. All right, let's look this up.
I wasn't listening clearly.
From 20,000. Okay, yeah, no, that was 1953, so that's much later. Let's look this up. First kaiju movie.
We might have just watched it.
Well, okay. What I'm seeing here is other people saying that the earliest could be The Lost World, which is from 1925, which is made by some of the same people who made King Kong. So maybe we'll talk about The Lost World at some point. That's a fun one. Willis. So this King Kong was directed by Marion C. Cooper and Ernest B. Shoestack. And it was very famously, the stop motion effects were done by a man named Willis O'Brien, who also did The Lost World. Willis O'Brien, very famous stop motion kind of artist. And King Kong is kind of like a groundbreaking film in a number of ways in terms of what it does with effects and how it uses stop motion and live action and projection. That's something that we will definitely get into. But
he brings a lot of elements together, yeah. Because I also noticed with like the background when they're on the boat, but you can see the island in the foreground. I will say, viewers, I came at this movie with a sense of dread, thinking the whole film was in stop motion because Nick had said it was stop motion.
Jay doesn't like stop motion animation because Jay is a big dumbass.
I don't like stop motion, claymation, none of it. Get it out of here.
Stop motion animation I love dearly. All of the Leica movies I love. Just stop motion as a whole. Like, I love this sort of monster animation stuff like King Kong and Jason the Argonauts. All that.
When they said stop motion, I kind of agreed. I thought, yes, stop motion, stop making these. But apparently we were on two different pages.
So do you like King Kong?
I liked this. I liked this a lot. Are you talking about this movie or in general?
This movie.
Yes, I loved this movie. I was delighted to know that there are real people and there is live action in this.
Interesting you'd say that. So you mentioned World War II. You know who else really liked King Kong was Hitler.
Okay.
So apparently Hitler got this movie like sent to him, even though this movie was banned in Germany in the 30s and 40s apparently, because they were worried that it went against their like pure sensibilities and that it would be upsetting and disheartening to the German people.
The pure sensibilities?
I don't know.
Okay.
But apparently Hitler, who was a big film guy, I guess, got a copy sent to him and he really liked it. So if you like this movie, well, I don't know what to tell you. Though I also
Did you
like
like this movie?
I did like this movie. You'd mentioned World War II, and in my reading, when I was looking up fun facts for this movie, I found that, and I was like, am I gonna mention the Hitler thing?
Well, what a way to slide that in.
Yeah, probably one of the few kaiju movies that Hitler had opinions on, so I guess that's cool.
How many movies did he have opinion? You know what? This sounds like a deep dive for another day.
That's gonna be on a different podcast that we're not gonna run.
Yeah, I am not a Hitler expert. I don't want to
clearly we
talk
don't
about
know
him.
enough about World War II, given that we called it the nuclear war.
Yeah, that's nice of you to say we. It's very kind of you to throw yourself under the bus.
The record shows that I did not, but
no.
Needless to say, King Kong was a big deal when it came out. It is incredibly famous. There have been many remakes made of it, remakes that we will inevitably get to.
Good.
Because honestly, so King Kong's gonna be weird because unlike Godzilla doesn't have a lot of like shot for shot remakes of the original. Like, the original Godzilla, a lot of other movies try and capture that feel, but they generally do a different thing with it.
It's like their own interpretations of the same kind of formula.
King Kong has a mix of both, because there's some versions of King Kong that are very different. And then there's some versions of King Kong that are just trying to do this movie again and just modernize it a bit, or like try and be super close to it. And like the 2005 Peter Jackson one, which we'll have to do eventually, even though it's like 3.5 hours long.
Is that the one with Jack Black in it?
That is the one with Jack Black. Jack Black plays Denham. He plays the director.
I remember watching that. You know, I did watch that one when it first came out, and I was a kid. So I'm excited to revisit that. Because I've never seen it since. I only saw it once in my life. I remember liking it.
I've only seen it in theaters.
Yeah, so I remember liking
seeing it again. I've seen like clips of it since, but it's a long ass movie.
I wonder how Jack Black holds up against Denham, because I really enjoyed Denham in this movie.
We will talk about Denham. Denham is a delight. So, all right. So I guess we should just start talking about the movie, and I'll kind of get into some fun facts as we
should
go
talk
along
about
here.
The very first thing that happens in this movie.
Is a 4-minute long overture.
Sure.
Did you sit through it all?
No. I skipped ahead to when words appeared on the screen.
I skipped ahead, though I have a fun fact about the overture. Let me find
About the music or the quote?
About the music.
Oh, okay.
Let me look up who was... I meant to write this down. The music was done by a man named Max Steiner, and this is one of the first movies to have a full orchestral score to it.
Oh, really?
So the 4-minute long thing at the beginning is partially there to show off that this is the type of music that this movie has. That was not common in that era.
Oh, dang. So this was like, while me and you in our cushy modern chairs and lives are skipping past this beautiful orchestral piece, or at least I was, back then, people were like in the theaters and this was like crazy. They're like, oh my gosh, they're doing a full musical score.
Yep. I have some fun facts involving what people in theaters thought about this movie, by the way.
Oh, did it upset their pure sensibilities?
There's a little bit of that.
Oh, I'm excited.
Well, I will give you a tease. There is a scene that is lost to time because it was cut out of this movie because test audiences could not handle it.
Did it have to do with female nudity?
It did not. It had to do with violence.
Whoa, okay.
But yeah, the first real thing that happens in this movie, a quote pops up on screen that I did not write down.
I wrote it down. And I have a fun fact about this quote if you don't.
Please, go ahead.
This is the only fun fact I have, because this is, you know, like I said, I usually come with the Jersey facts. Nick usually comes with the kaiju movie facts, but I got curious about this. So the very first thing that pops up on the screen is a quote, and the quote says, And lo, the beast looked upon the face of beauty, and it stayed its hand from killing, and from that day it was as one dead. And it's quoted, like, the source of this quote is just labeled an old Arabian proverb. And that struck me as weird. I thought, seems very unspecific as a source.
I also thought that's that, because at the start it said the prophet or something like that.
Yeah, it's like an old Arabian proverb or prophet
I assume
or
is
something.
the
But I'm
prophet
pretty
Muhammad, but I don't know.
well. I got curious. I'm like, that's so unspecific. It's just an old Arabian proverb. So I tried to look it up. I tried to figure out what proverb this was, or what context, or when this was like I tried to find the origin of this quote. This is a quote that the film producer just made up. Marion C. Cooper made it up. This is not an Arabian proverb.
That's so funny. So that just makes it even funnier, because as we will see, this movie really, really wants to have a Beauty and the Beast parallel. Mm-hmm. They cram that into every portion of this movie that they can.
I'm interested to know, when did Beauty and the Beast come out? Because they definitely parallel each other, but I'm wondering, because this is pretty old.
Are you talking about the Disney movie?
No, just, I guess in general. I don't know when the regular, like, just the origin story of Beauty and the Beast came out.
Because I was going to say, the Disney movie came out in the 90s.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking Disney at all, but the regular story.
Well, I mean, the original story, it's... Okay, yeah, it's from, like, 1740. I was going to say, it's an old story.
Okay. So, yeah, definitely, it seems like they're trying to capture that same sort of, like, beauty will be your undoing, seems to be.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of ways that they try and blame everything that happens in this movie on women.
On a woman that did not want any of this and was really kind of screwed.
Well, speaking of, so we start this movie with Carl Denham, who is a film director, who is having his special knockout bombs delivered onto a ship that he is taking to a mysterious island, and having the skipper, a man named Weston, he kind of shows up telling him that, hey, Denham, you need an actress for your movie. Mm-hmm. And everybody is debating about this, because Denham doesn't want to have a woman in his movie. He says the line, "Holy mackerel, you think I want to haul a woman around?"
Yep.
Everyone, as you will find out, this is a movie that is full of people who hate the very concept of women.
It is a very sexist movie. It is a very sexist movie, and having said that, it was a very fun watch.
I think they're doing it as a joke sometimes, because some of them are so on the nose, I'm like, surely.
It was the 30s. I don't know how much it was meant to be joking.
There's a line later in this movie that I'm sure that you have also marked down that we need to have the clip of, which is one of the funniest.
I marked down too many timestamps for this movie, so I'm just like, I had that mackerel line as a timestamp, but now going back through my notes and stuff, I'm like, that's not, out of all the things I've said, no, not even too much, I just have so many timestamp requests that I'm like, I've got to narrow this down.
Yeah, exactly. So, he goes on to say that none of his other movies have women, and critics don't like that. That critics want women in his movies, and he's upset about it.
They want more romantic arcs, they say, and he's not really interested in doing romantic type arcs, but it seems like all the critics are really pushing for that and wanting that.
If this was a different era, Denham would be pushing to have some sort of gay romance in his movie, because he hates the concept of a woman being there. But unfortunately, he's in the 1930s, so that's not gonna fly.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, so yeah, he's kind of I think Denham kind of is getting annoyed, but he's gonna go ahead. He's like, fine, I go get a girl, and I think
the actress that was set up doesn't show up because the skipper doesn't like the idea of a woman being brought off to an island that Denham won't tell anybody where they're going. It's a mysterious location, and surprisingly, they're having a hard time getting an actress to agree to that. So Denham says, don't worry, I'll go find one. Keeping in mind the ship leaves first thing the following morning and it's already nighttime.
He goes, I'll go find one even if I gotta marry one.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna just go find a woman.
He's gonna go find a woman to go on this cruise ship full of all men to an unknown destination for an unknown period of time. That's the deal. Yeah,
exactly. A dangerous place, by the way, because they're bringing guns and high-powered knockout bombs that they say could, like, knock out an elephant.
Yeah, for a question mark purpose. So
Denham goes into New York City, and we get to see ye olde...
Sorry, 1 second. Dogs are barking. Okay, go lay down. Bang.
Oh my god.
Good, listen.
Everybody, Jay is shooting his dog.
On the mic.
On mic. It's fucked up. Anyways, so they all go to New York City, and they go to ye olde Times Square, which was fun to see. And he eventually comes across, Denham that is, an attempted thief by the name of Darrow. Who tries to steal, like, an apple or something, and the shopkeeper's like, I'm gonna beat your ass, and Darrow's like, no, I'll take her, but I'll take her off your hands, and then Anne, like, faints, because I guess she's so hungry, and then is dragged off by Denham.
Yeah.
She awakens in, like, a diner.
I have something to say about that whole fainting thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Have you ever seen the movie Mr. Deeds? That it was an Adam Sandler one.
I have not seen Mr. Deeds.
It's really great because Winona Ryder is in it. She's like the love interest to Adam Sandler, and in it she plays a character called Babe. And I'm not going to go into the whole plot of the movie, but anyway, her character in this Babe is a reporter trying to get information on Adam Sandler's character, who just is like a small town hick who inherited a shit ton of money from like a distant dead relative. So she's trying to get the scoop on what his deal is. And so she goes undercover and she's able to learn that like he's kind of got a fantasy of like rescuing a girl because like that's kind of how his dad met his mom. So she dresses exactly like Anne Darrow does in this movie. And she does, like, there's some guy that tries to rob her or whatever. It's, like, really her friend, but they fake a robbery right in front of him to kind of get his attention. And she does the whole fainting thing just like that she does, like, for real, scene for scene, just the way it looks is the exact way she did it. And I think it was intentional because
I would imagine so.
Throughout the movie, Winona Ryder's character makes a bunch of like literary and movie like references. Like I think at one point she alludes that like her name is like Dawson, like Jack and Rose Dawson from Titanic. And at one point she gives a backstory about how like she fell out of Boo Radley's apple tree and like To Kill a Mockingbird. So I thought that was a fun thing. I think that was like a reference to this movie, King Kong, that scene, because she was dressed the exact same way, looked the exact same, and like did the whole fainting spell the exact way Anne Darrow did. So that was just fun, I thought.
I mean, yeah, this Fay Wray is who plays Anne in this movie, and is undoubtedly the most famous person to come out of this. I would not be surprised. But she gets brought to this diner by Denham. And then Denham's like, I'm not helping you for free, Toots.
I'm not bothering you out of kindness.
Yeah, he's like, I want you to be an actress on this journey with me. We leave at 6 a.m. tomorrow on a ship. I won't tell you where we're going. And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, did I mention I'll pay you a lot? And she goes, okay, sure, I need money, and that sounds great. I want to make it in the big city.
He goes, it's money and adventure and fame. It's the thrill of a lifetime. And I was like, as he said that, I was thinking, you know what? I think that would work on me.
You would be killed by a giant ape.
I think if you said that same exact phrase to me in that same exact tone, you could get me to do a lot of things.
That is how I got you to do this podcast.
Yeah, I said, Nick, are you sure about doing a podcast where we compare Jersey Shore themes and Godzilla? Like, because that, I don't know if people would really go for that.
I said, can it, Toots? I'm not helping you for free. It'll be fame, it'll be money, it'll be adventure, it'll be the thrill of a lifetime.
And then I said, Yeah, Nick, anything you want. Thrill of
And
a
then I got
lifetime.
and then we went to a mysterious island where we were attacked by a gorilla.
Yeah, that might be why the gorilla got Kendall. I should check out that island and see if she's there after this.
No, I don't think so. This seems like a lot of work.
Okay.
So, they take Anne back to the ship, and everyone fucking hates her.
Mm-hmm.
The only person who she seems to get along with is Charlie, who is a problematic Asian depiction, who I saw and I immediately went, oh no, but he's honestly not treated as badly as he could have been.
Yeah, he's like, he definitely has I don't know. I think it's kind of like of the times, the way his character's portrayed, kind of being like Asian help or whatever, kind of playing a supporting role to all these white people's machinations. But it's not. I don't think it was necessarily overly racist or anything. It wasn't like you said. I was also kind of, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It's not as bad as some of the other depictions that will be in this movie.
Yeah.
But he's you know, he's doing fine. Then we meet the romantic lead.
Yeah, nobody
hates.
By the way, nobody hates Anne more than this guy.
So Jack Driscoll is hilarious because he hates Anne so much to a point that I can't imagine was normal of the era, because no one else hates her as much as this guy does. He shows up and like the first thing he does is hit her across the face. And then talks with her about... So yeah, he walks up, he like smacks her, and he's just like, yeah, women can't help being a bother. And it's like just telling her off about how much he doesn't want her to be there, and how much he thinks it's a stupid idea that Denham has brought her onto this boat. And Anne's just like, I don't know, everybody else seems okay with me. And it's like, no, they all hate you.
Very good-natured about it all, which I guess you would have to be as a woman back then, because you just couldn't exist. Everyone was so damn misogynistic anyway.
You couldn't own a credit card or a home or anything like that.
Yeah, you would like breathe, you know, and then a man next to you would just be like, what a womanly thing to do.
Oh, gosh, terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jack is... Just every line of dialogue Jack has in the first like half of this movie is about how much he hates Anne.
Yeah, women shouldn't be on the ship. They're made to be a problem.
For the first half hour of this movie, and then he changes his tune a little bit. But so there's they have a little scene here. I've made a note of there's Iggy the monkey. And I have a note here that says, I thought King Kong would be bigger, while they're playing with this little monkey on the boat.
I think the note I wrote was like, oh, they cut to Anne playing around with the monkey, showing her affinity for apes.
I was waiting for the monkey to come back, and the monkey never really does.
I don't think so. I thought it was going to be a bigger deal. I thought it was going to be like Captain Barbossa's buddy, where he would like,
great.
Yeah, he would be like a sidekick or something to.
Can you imagine if
Driscoll or Darrow?
Barbossa's crew, the crew of the Black Pearl, was who showed up to the island in this movie?
I wanted to say it'd be a better movie, but this did end up being a pretty good movie.
I have some thoughts about when they get to the island in this movie. We'll get to that. Mm-hmm. But first, speaking of the island, Denham finally comes clean about where they're going. He says that he was told about this island, which is off the coast of Sumatra, I believe. And he says he was told by a Norwegian skipper that gave him the map after a failed voyage to this island. And that nobody has heard of this island, but they have heard of the fabled Kong, which is a beast of legend. And Denham is sure that Kong is on this island, and by Jove, he's gonna get the pictures of him.
My favorite was that he was just like, I've gotten a hold of this map from Singapore 2 years ago, and he's like, I got it from a canoe full of men from there, and they were all dead but one. And he's like, nobody knows anything about this island. But to get there safely, you have to go through this thin beach line through this
Yeah.
coral narrow pass, and he just has like this exact freaking complicated description of how to safely navigate passage to this island.
I also love that no one's heard of this island, but he's like, have you heard of Kong? And they're like, oh, we've heard of Kong. We've heard of the big gorilla, though. And I'm like, how?
Yeah.
If you haven't heard of the island he's on, how did you hear about the big gorilla?
Yeah.
I have a time code here, which is when Denim talks about why he doesn't have a cameraman.
Oh, yes. I did also timestamp request this.
And talks about how he doesn't fool with cameramen, not since one was charged by a rhino and ran away as opposed to letting himself be killed to get the shot.
He goes, I do my own camera work now.
Yeah, that's get the time code for that one.
I'm glad you also picked that out. I absolutely did, too.
Since the trip I made to Africa, I'd have got a swell picture of a charging rhino, but the cameraman got scared. That darn fool, I was right there with a rifle. Seems he didn't trust me to get the rhino before it got him. I haven't fooled with cameraman since. I do it myself.
I loved it. Denim is really funny in this movie. There will be a few moments in this movie that Denim is really quite funny.
Yeah. Then they kind of go into like a photo shoot type thing.
Yeah, so he starts being... Yeah, they start basically just doing photo shoots with Anne to like kind of test out angles and everything, and also to kind of, it's like, oh, look up there, you're seeing something terrible, you're seeing something terrifying. And Jack is like, oh, what is it actually gonna be if he's having her be like that?
Yeah, what does he think she's gonna actually see? And yeah,
and so they arrive out nearby the island. There's a beautiful matte painting of the island as there's drumming from the locals. And Jack doesn't really want Anne to go ashore. It's unclear if it's because he's worried about her or just because that would mean she'd have to be nearby him. But Denim says, no, I've learned my lesson about not having my stars with me. Maybe something exciting will happen.
Yeah.
And has them go along. Jack kind of has a conversation with Anne that honestly is one of the few good points he makes in this movie is, hey, you shouldn't be willing to do anything for this insane director. You will die.
Yeah, there's also, I think there was a little scene even before that when they were still kind of on the boat where he's kind of mentioned he's going soft for her a bit, so...
No, my dear, I've gone hard. So... Yeah, so he tells Jack, this is before they've gotten off the boat. This is right. So they're getting ready to leave. And the funniest line in the entire movie happens here. It is 37 minutes into the movie. So Jack has known her for all of about half an hour. And he tells her, I guess I love you.
Oh, yeah.
And Anne says, why, Jack, you hate women. And his response is, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And...
I do have a line I like a little better than that, but that was pretty good.
Yeah, so...
It was romantic of the time, I suppose.
Love, you hate women. Yeah, I know, but you're not women.
Yeah, you're not like other girls.
Say, I guess I love you.
Why, Jack, you hate women.
Yeah, I know. But you aren't women.
Just the way he says, yeah, I know, I rewound it. It was the funniest thing.
I know, and yeah. My favorite, I think I rewound about 3 or 4 times, and each time it cracked me up almost just as hard. And it's coming up too.
So he starts making out with Anne, and then Skipper calls out to them, but when it cuts to Skipper, the romantic music just abruptly stops as Skipper sort of steps out. It's like, hey, can you come to the bridge, please? And then the music starts back up again, and then it cuts back to him, and the music just cuts again, and it's really funny.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that
they
happens.
kind of go ashore after, I think,
I think we mixed around our order a little bit here at the opening. It doesn't really matter. I think technically that happens after they go ashore for the first time. I think I messed that up. But they go to shore.
Yeah.
And they see the native peoples, who are never given a name, and who are depicted. It could have been worse.
It could have been worse. It
I
could have been better.
suppose. It could have been a lot better. This is a recurring theme with King Kong movies, going even to the more modern era of how do you depict these people well. They're having some sort of sacrificial ceremony where they are going to be giving a woman to Kong. And Denim and Denim, Jack, Ann, and the boys all are kind of hid there looking out around this bush, and Denim goes, let's see if we can get some footage of this. And they step out into the open. You could not be more visible. And starts cranking the camera to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And they are immediately seen. And the tribe rolls up.
I think it's like the chief in particular starts really striding slow towards them.
The chief is real pissed. And they have kind of a... Skipper can speak the language because it's similar to other island languages nearby, which... Sure.
And this
guess.
This is when we get my favorite line of the movie. So
yes, please.
So I'm gonna have a timer stamp here real soon, but it's like basically so Skipper's kind of talking with them, and Denim is like, what are they saying, and Skipper's conversing, and Skipper is translating to Denim, and he goes, oh, they say that that woman there, because there's a woman kind of in the center of their ritualistic dancing and things they're doing up ahead by the gate, and they go, that woman there, and he points around and goes, they're gonna make her the bride of Kong or whatever. And it, like, the camera cuts to this woman, she's kind of sitting there forlornly in the center of this circle of dancing people, and she's got like, kind of lay flowers around her or whatever, and a flower crown and stuff, and a grass skirt, and she looks so miserable and depressed, like rightly so, as you're about to get sacrificed to be whatever it means to be the bride of a giant kaiju monster. And then it cuts back to the crew talking with the chief or whatever, and Denim's response to this is, whoa, that's great! Ask them what they're gonna do!
He understands you, Skipper. What does he say?
Telling us to get out.
Well, talk him out of it. Ask him what goes on.
Vani di humya. Malem ani humya vana.
Anasaba Kong!
He says the girl there is the bride of Kong.
Great! Find out what they're gonna do.
That was my favorite line, and I rewound that part like four damn times because that was
has
so
a few
funny.
really good lines there. He has some line where it's along the lines of like, ask him to stop so we can talk to him or something. What's the word for friend?
He's about his. He does not give a shit. He is all about his movie. This is I love that.
Denim is
so
having
much.
a great time.
He's
And then
unapologetic.
The chief sees Anne and is like, whoa. We've not seen a lady like her before. King Kong will love her. Yeah. We'll give you 30 women if you give us that one.
He's like Joey Sazzo in The Perfect Match for anybody that watches that. He's all like, I love blondes. He sees this blonde golden girl and he's like, we'll trade you some of our women for the blonde golden girl.
We'll get more into what Kong assumedly thinks about seeing a blonde woman later. But honestly, if Denim wasn't there, I think Jack would have handed her over. But then he would have had to deal with 30 women, so he maybe wouldn't have been for that.
Yeah,
but
he hates women.
Denim's like, no, we won't do that, but tell you what, pal, we'll come back tomorrow morning. We're gonna go back to our ship. We'll chat later. And the chief is very clearly not thrilled with this, but Denim's like, well, work here is done, let's go.
And they just walk away slowly whistling.
Yeah, they literally just walk away whistling. It's really funny. So they go back to the ship. Jack and Anne have that conversation we talked about earlier. They make out. And then Jack gets pulled away to talk about, what they're going to be doing the next day. And Anne is ambushed by a bunch of these people from the tribe who sneak aboard. They kidnap her. it's really, really lucky for them that she was just stood out easy to find on the deck. I don't think this would have gone nearly as well for them if they'd had to creep around on the ship silently. But she's just right
Jack
there
wasn't
next to
even
the
there.
edge.
He kind of stepped away for a minute too, so she's just like alone on the side of the ship at night, and they kind of just roll up in their canoe.
Yeah, so they kidnap her, and then Denham and company notice that something's amiss because all the torches are going off, and Denham bemoans the fact that the cameras aren't good enough to get night footage, but I'd want to go over there right now. And Skipper's like, no, what are you stupid?
No.
What are you talking about? And then they figure out because one of the natives left a bracelet on the deck somehow.
Yeah, during the struggle of grabbing Anne, a bracelet got ripped off or something, and what's the
Charlie?
Yeah, Charlie finds it. he
Yeah.
he has an interesting line.
I don't even remember what it is. Is it everybody?
We might have to cut this out. I don't know. I'll let you make that discernment. It's just this is the quote, and he goes,
"Oh no, I do remember."
He runs up with the bracelet and to the skipper and Driscoll and all of them, and he goes. They were trying to look for Anne. They're like, "Where's Anne?" They kind of know she's missing, and then he runs up with the bracelet and goes, "Crazy black man been here."
Yeah,
that's a quote. I am not.
Yeah. Again, could have been worse.
Yeah.
So yeah, he says that, and then the whole crew is like, "Oh shit!" They go ashore, but they don't get there quite in time because Anne has already been secured to this big sacrificial, podium, and the chief rings a big gong, the Kong gong, as I have it described in my notes.
The Kong gong.
Anne is not pleased about this, and then the trees shift, and King Kong just bursts the fuck out, and I have a question about this.
I had a question I was going to pose to you. That's so funny.
All right,
what's your question?
Let's see if they're the same question. My question is, the tribal people seemed kind of surprised by this. How often do you think this happens?
Like, how often do they have to replace their door?
Well, how often do you think that they have to sacrifice a lady to Kong? Because they're all kind of like, kind of taken aback when Kong comes out. And I'm like, you guys should be used to this by now. Surely, this is like your thing.
They have a whole, it seems they have a ritual about it. Unless this was their first time and they're like, this is what we think we have to do. Like, maybe that was just a wedding ceremony they usually did between village people. And so they think, well, maybe that's what we have to do for this monkey, too.
That would be so funny if this is the first time they've ever done it.
It's just, maybe, like, how many plans do you think they had beforehand that just failed, that they finally said, well, maybe if we marry him off?
Kong just keeps rolling in and just fucking shit up, and they're like, "Oh my god, what can we do? Give him a woman, I guess."
Yeah, they tried the spears. The spears didn't work. Maybe they tried to sing him to lull him into a slumber, and that wasn't working.
We'll see later, their big fancy door doesn't do jack shit.
No.
But yeah, they all seemed very surprised when King Kong showed up, and I was like, "You guys, this is your thing. You guys should know all about this guy." What was your
wasn't the question that I had.
What's your question?
The question that came to mind for me when watching this scene, watching this woman and kind of projecting that, okay, the crew's gonna have to go in and save her then, and I'm watching her struggle, and King Kong's kind of making off with her. And I'm like, okay, this is something I feel like I should ask Nick, and I was gonna ask this question. I don't think I need to anymore. My question was, Nick, put yourself in the shoes. You're a woman hater that only just met this woman, and she gets taken off into a secluded, isolated island in the depths of it by a giant kaiju monkey. Is this rescue mission worth it? And then I realized at the beginning of this podcast, a kaiju monkey took off with your longtime partner, and so I guess your answer would probably be no.
Well, look, here's the thing. For one thing, you have to remember Jack's boss is telling him he has to go do this. So that's a big motivator. Secondly, you have to remember that he has just kissed this woman and said, "I guess I love you." So he's obligated to have to do that now.
Yeah.
Because she's not women. You know what I mean?
No, she's a blonde.
Oh, fuck. Got me there. But as Jersey Shore showed, a blonde is impossible to resist. That's why Sammy got so upset.
Yeah.
So King Kong rolls up, and then he like tries to get her off the platform, and Anne falls over, and then he just picks her up. She doesn't like try and run away, he just picks her up and runs off right when Jack, Denham, and the boys show up. And so I keep calling them the boys, and we'll get to this. I think this movie was made in the era of go get 'em, boys. Where like this movie has a long portion where it's just Jack, Denham, and a bunch of guys just wandering through the jungle, being very confident in themselves.
Yeah, it's a real sausage fest.
With them. But they're just like, oh, like I guess we'll get to this. So they chase after Anne because Kong runs off with her. And they leave Skipper and half of their crew back to deal with the natives, who we find out they just fire a gun once so that the tribe stops messing with them. So that turned out not to be a problem.
Yeah.
But
it was very convenient to the plot.
Yeah. Jack, Denham, and the boys all just go off and it's like, oh, we gotta build a raft. Let's build a raft, boys. And then they all just build a raft. And it's like, oh, we gotta go through here. Let's go,
that
boys.
happens, Nick, I'm very surprised you're not mentioning this.
Oh,
they run into a Stegosaurus.
They do run into a Stegosaurus. So,
and they blow it up.
They shoot it so much.
They shoot it so... They lob bombs at it, I think.
They do. They throw one of the knockout bombs at it. So they find this Stegosaurus that is beautifully animated for this era. This whole scene looks incredible, and I'm going to get into how they did it in a minute here. But it sees them, it starts running towards them, and they start to all of them start shooting it. And then they throw a bomb at it, it falls over. They start walking towards it, it gets up again, they shoot it some more, and then they go, well, we better shoot it in the head just to be sure. They shoot it in the head, and it starts freaking out, and then dies. And I just love that we're in this era of, oh, well, there's a beast we've never seen before. We're not going to film this one, though. We're just going to kill it.
You know what I loved? Is after they did do all of that, they found this thing, they immediately, before anything, just start shooting it, lobbing bombs at it. Like, it kind of falls over. It starts moving again. They do the double tap kill on it.
They shoot it so many times.
It's down. It's down for the count, finally. And then Denham walks up and looks at it mournfully and says, I'm not even kidding, he says, If only I could bring back one of these alive.
Yeah, right. Bro, you brought the sleeping bombs.
It was just alive.
They only use one after they've started shooting it.
Yeah.
Also, I love the fact that its corpse grows massively in size because it is huge when they're walking beside this thing. But you might be wondering, Jay.
Yeah, how did they do this?
This is live action people with stop motion characters. And you have to remember, this is before the era of being able to composite something in. So, like, nowadays, if you wanted to do this, you'd animate a thing on, like, a green screen. And then you just remove the green screen and put that in. They couldn't do that. So what is happening here is they have all their actors on the set, and then the footage, the stop motion footage of the Stegosaurus, which has already been done, is projected live on the set, and then that is being filmed. So those actors are actually seeing the Stegosaurus footage there with them.
Okay, so it's kind of like getting projected onto their wall or screen behind them, and they're kind of reacting to that.
And so they were able to react exactly in real time with it. But what's crazy about that is if you notice in that scene, the camera follows them as they walk closer. And so they walk closer, and the projection has to zoom in with them to make it look like they are getting closer to it.
So is the projection zooming in, or did they do the camera work when they filmed the stop motion? Did they do the camera work for that? And so the actors just had to be in sync with that?
I'm not 100%
I mean, either way, it's
sure.
technically very impressive.
What's crazy, though, and I'm going to jump ahead a bit here, is later in the movie, remember when King Kong is fighting that big snake?
Yes.
That scene is crazy. Because King Kong is there, and then Jack is in the foreground hiding behind a rock. Jack is live action, but behind King Kong, you can see Anne is there. What they did for that was they had a recording of Anne in the background of when they were doing the stop motion for King Kong, and they had her video or her film move frame by frame with the animation so that she would be in the background of the animation, and then they projected both of those in the shot with Jack. So it is 3 layers of filmmaking on one shot, which is crazy for the time. It was all done practically. It's wild.
Wow. You'd have to sync that up really good.
Yeah, they had to basically film her, doing her thing behind a rock, and then just run it shot, like, frame by frame while they animated, which is wild.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
But yeah, they shoot the fuck out of a Stegosaurus. And then they're really confident, and they go, let's build a raft, boys.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going out, and then a big sauropod, a big long-necked dinosaur, comes out of the water just to kind of see what's going on, and they immediately shoot it in the face.
Yeah. They're very much in conquer mode.
Yeah, they shoot it in the face, and the sauropod decides that it doesn't like that very much, and just starts grabbing guys off the boat and just fucking throwing them. Just... At this point, I realized this movie is weirdly violent for the era that it is in.
Yeah, I was surprised, because I was like, even in the Godzilla movies I think we watched up till now, we don't really see a lot of overt death. And
no,
that's
in, like, we
watched Godzilla 2000. That was, pretty recent, and there wasn't a whole lot of violence in that.
You mentioned in that movie, Godzilla basically doesn't kill anybody.
Yeah, and in Godzilla vs. Mothra, I don't think anybody dies. I don't remember, but I don't think, because I think I mentioned that too.
As we'll find next episode, original Godzilla has a few more people who do die, but even then, not to this extent. Like,
yeah,
people
dinosaurs are getting eaten,
flung around.
Or dinosaurs are eating people in this one.
Yeah, so the sauropods just throwing folks, and the boys all get off the raft and start running onto shore, and the sauropod just chases them in this intense scene of it just chasing them down. A guy tries to climb up a tree, and I'm like, that's the worst place to go, and it just grabs him and, like, tears him out of the tree.
It eats him. I was keeping track of that, because I, again, was like, is he just gonna fling them off camera so we don't actually see any, any violence? Because that's what I was thinking. That would be in line with what I know of these movies. No, that guy got ate, and that was like, that was when I was like, oh, shit.
There's a shocking amount of, keeping in mind how time intensive and expensive it is to make how expensive it is to make the stop motion characters in this. There's a lot of stop motion, like there's quite a bit of it on. They do not cheap out with the dinosaurs and King Kong, but yet the sauropod chases them down, and they don't ever kill it. It just sort of, they escape it. And then King Kong, we cut back to King Kong and Anne, and King Kong notices something's amiss. He's like, I hear some boys causing a ruckus. And so he sets Anne up on top of a tree, and then goes off to see what's going on. And he finds a bunch of the boys, like, hanging off of a log. Yeah. And he just starts tipping the log over.
Into, like, this big chasm.
You see them fall, and you see each one of them hit the ground. You didn't need to show that, but you hear them scream, and then you see their body just slam into the ground, like little dummies falling.
Yeah.
So, this is where that deleted scene comes in, though.
Ooh, okay.
So, in mentioning that this movie is weirdly violent for the era, people of the era agreed. Apparently, a bunch of later releases of this movie cut out a bunch of the violence because people were like, whoa, this is a bit much. And one of those scenes that has been lost forever, you can find like still pictures of it, is apparently in an early test screening for this movie. The bit where the guys fall down there, they don't die right away. They land, and then a bunch of giant spiders and crabs start coming out and tearing into them and eating them.
No, I can see why it got deleted.
There's a whole extended scene of the guys fighting these big bugs and getting eaten by them. Now that's lost. However, in 2005, when Peter Jackson was making the remake, he, with technology that they would have had in the time, so stop motion and everything, recreated that scene in black and white and had it in the DVD extras, so you can see a version of that scene.
Oh wow, that's cool. But he didn't include. Did he remake that scene in the movie with Modern?
It is in the movie. Because
You're
gonna hate it.
I remember I very vividly kind of remember a centipede really freaking me out.
Yeah,
in
there's
that
big
movie.
centipedes and leeches and stuff in that movie.
Yeah,
That's what they're referencing. Do you want to watch that right now? I can pull up the scene that they recreated.
Yeah. Let's get my reaction. I love, oh boy, spiders.
I know you love spiders. And we'll cut this bit. We'll cut this bit out of the episode, and then I'll have you react to it after we've seen it. But let me pull up the video. Oh, I don't want to see recreation. Ah, here it is. Let me... Hang on.
You're all good.
There we go. I'm gonna send this to you, and I'm gonna watch it too. And we'll cut to this bit in the episode. So as you'll see, the recreation is very spot on.
Yeah, I'm good.
So,
it's the full site. There we go. There's no sound. Is there supposed to be sound?
There is sound. Make sure YouTube's not muted.
It's not.
Oh.
Interesting.
Go to the bottom corner of your thing and make sure you don't need to hear the audio necessarily. If you go about 2 minutes in is when the kind of bug stuff is going to start, where because they use the original footage of him tipping him off the log.
Okay, I skipped to 2 minutes in. That's pretty neat that he took the time to do that. He must be like a real Kong fan.
He's apparently, after he did Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson was told he could do basically whatever he wanted, and he wanted to remake King Kong. Okay, so about 2:50 is when they have the new footage start.
Okay.
Which you can tell it's new footage because they look like modern men, but...
Yeah, you could definitely tell the actors are different. I do like that he used the same style lizards from...
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the crabs. They're like, we can't show this scene. It'll absolutely tank the crab market. My gosh. Is that a crab or a scorpion? One of those is really hard to tell. Oh, what the hell is that thing? Oh my gosh, they got him. Now that last one was real gruesome.
I also like the touch that they have the lizard climbing up in the background, and then they have that tie into the scene where Jack sees the lizard climbing up in the actual original version.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh, that was fun.
I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to you seeing the horrible Bug Canyon bit from the original.
The horrible Bug Canyon.
Or not
bit?
from the original, from the 2005,
Oh,
the remake one.
Oh, I know we're
It's
gonna have to
pretty
relive that
atrocious.
together.
It's pretty atrocious. Anyway, so yeah, now you've seen that. So fun fact about that spider scene and the original movie, the one that got cut, is apparently it was cut because people were very upset by it, 'cause it was disturbing.
Mhm.
But also it was cut because people couldn't stop talking about it afterwards in the theater.
Oh,
So,
imagine
like-
people wanted to talk about your movie.
No, but like in the movie, they kept talking about it. Like the scene was over, but they kept talking about the spider scene. Which I think is really funny.
like, are you talking about during the rest of the movie or during
Yeah.
like the credits? After the credits
During
roll,
the
they're like,
rest
so
of
about
the
that
movie."
spider.
Apparently they said that it was distracting to the audience. Like they kept talking about it while the rest of the movie was going.
Like
So,
they couldn't
like-
watch anything past that, huh?
They're like, oh, King Kong's alright, but remember those crabs?
When the crabs steal the show.
Yeah.
Damn.
So those guys are dropped. They die horribly. At which point we get to probably one of the most famous things from this movie. I think probably King Kong on the Empire State Building's a little more famous. But yeah, so Anne's there and she starts freaking out because a big T-Rex starts rolling up on her.
Yeah.
And the T-Rex wants to eat her. She's stuck up in this tree. And then Kong shows up, and he and this T-Rex start having what might be the first ever kaiju battle. As they just start fucking tussling. They
have
are
a
wrestling.
WWE SmackDown is what they have.
I have a fun fact about this scene too.
Ooh.
And I tried to find the original footage. I could not. Apparently the animators for this scene recorded themselves fighting as
Really?
reference
It
for
does
this.
look very human-like in the way
It
in the
does.
moves that they use. It does look very wrestling. It's not just like monsters clawing at each other fruitlessly.
Yeah, I thought it was so funny every time King Kong just punches the T-Rex in the mouth.
I like when he leaps on his back, gets him in a rear naked chokehold, and like now it's way funnier to imagine like the producers doing that to each other.
The animators.
Oh, the animators, yeah. It's like, no, Greg, get on my back for real. It's fine, bro.
So they have a big fight, and then eventually the T-Rex gets its jaw like really brutally broken. And then I love the King Kong afterwards kind of like flaps his jaw up and down, like testing if it's like, no.
I like the big smile he gives Anne after this.
I
It's
love
so
the
scary.
big close-up. So I should probably talk a little bit about how King Kong himself was made, and this seems like a decent point. So King Kong had two different models, like the stop-motion models. There's one where he's in the city, and there's one where he's in the jungle. The city one is actually a little bigger. But what they did was actually different than how they'd done stop-motion before, where this time King Kong has like a metal skeleton. He's like the Terminator. He has a metal flexible skeleton, and then they put this material on it, like this kind of foam material that flexes and bends, kind of like muscle. And then his fur is rabbit fur that they covered him with. And you may notice that the fur kind of moves around because of stop motion. Apparently they really tried to brush it and make it so it didn't shift like that, but you can kind of see it shifting from the animator's hands touching it.
They did pretty good, though. I mean, just as kind of like a layman viewer, I didn't necessarily notice that it was real fur.
It looks great.
Yeah.
And then they have the big puppet, like the big life-size puppet of his head, and then they have one of his hands and feet for like when he's grabbing or stomping people. The head looks so goofy. His big smile is delightful, but it
so
looks
eerie.
nothing like the puppet. Or nothing like the little stop-motion figure. But yeah, he shows up, he smiles at Anne, and then Jack King Kong tries to grab Jack. And Jack, like, pokes him with a knife, and King Kong's like, fuck this. And leaves with Anne. Jack runs back to find Denim, who is also alive.
Yeah, he's like on the other side of the ravine. So when King Kong was like kind of tipping the boys over and kind of killing them all down the ravine, Driscoll conveniently is still alive on the other side of that ravine.
Yeah, so Denim, Jack tells Denim, hey, go back, get Skipper, grab some more of those bombs. I'm gonna go get Ann. And Denim goes, all right, and goes off.
There wasn't much of an argument.
Yeah, then he goes to Skipper and tells Skipper, he's like, hey, Skipper, let's do this. And Skipper's like, yeah, we shot a couple shots and all the natives fucked off.
Yeah.
And Denim's like, oh, that's convenient.
Yeah, and then I think there is kind of an important thing about Driscoll's character Ben here, where Skipper's like, well, what happened, like, because they kind of make this plan about, like, I think Denim's like, I'm gonna go back or whatever with these bombs or whatever, and, like, if I find them or whatever, we're out there, I'll send a signal. And then Skipper goes, okay, great, but what if I never see a signal from you? And Denim's like, well, I'm coming back here, and we're leaving the island at dawn whether we find them or not. Like, he's out. Denim has his, like, I's dotted and T's crossed. He's gonna be...
Yeah, Denim's
he's
ready
gonna
to
make
go.
it out of here.
And so... Yeah, so then we have Jack. He finds Ann and Kong as Ann is nearly got by a big snake. She's having just a bad time. Every animal's trying to eat her.
And the Kong and the snake get into another WWE type smackdown.
Yeah, they get in a real tussle. We talked about that earlier with the different levels of projection. It is an incredibly technically interesting scene. And then Ann kind of tries to escape. She gets... And Kong kind of catches her, picks her up, takes her out to this big kind of overhang cliff. And then a fucking pteranodon comes down and tries to steal her. And so King Kong has to beat the shit out of this pteranodon. Yeah. Just folds it like an omelet. And then starts eating it.
Well, he starts taking off her clothes, too. But I can't remember if that's before the pterodactyl attack or after.
No, you're right. That is before. Oh, man. Okay, yeah. So Anne faints. Again.
Yeah, after the terror of seeing her future husband wrestle this boa.
Yeah, and so Kong seems kind of unsure what to do with her when she passes out. She tries to get away, he grabs her, she faints. And then he's like looking at her in his hand, and he starts kind of like picking at her. And he starts just taking off clothes. And then he's taking off these clothes, and he just starts kind of like flicking her titties.
Yeah, he flicks at her titties and then smells his fingers.
And then he smells his fingers. And I'm like, this guy's a dog of a man. He's just
I'm
an
like,
absolute...
oh, Kong, you dirty birdie.
Yes.
I'm like, I'm surprised this isn't what, like this wasn't the scene that was, like, protested against.
So he takes off some of her clothes. Not a whole lot of them, but enough that it's upsetting. So she wakes up and freaks out. And then the pteranodon shows up and tries to eat her. Mm-hmm. Then King Kong kills the pteranodon, but Jack and... I almost said Jack and Rose. Jack and Ann start climbing down a vine to get away. King Kong notices and starts yanking them back up, and then they jump, and they turn into two little dolls that start falling into the water below, and Ann's doll 100% hits the rocks on the way down. Like, you see it hit the rock face, but she's fine.
Yeah. They're like, should we film that again? And the crew production's like, nah, that was good.
We can't afford it.
Yeah.
So that they start heading back towards the wall. I feel like we're speeding through this, but audience, it's just happening. Like, stuff is just going down.
Yeah, what it is it's we can't portray it very well in this audio format. It is a lot of really cool, like, we get a lot of really cool footage of these, like, stop-motion wrestling scenes between Kong and various wildlife, and...
It's just Kong tussling.
If I knew enough wrestling terms, I would describe it in full detail so you could get the full picture. I started making up wrestling terms and having fun with that because I did not know what I was talking about. But I'm like, oh yeah, Kong ends up with the triple lip lock face breaker, and I'm like, oh, he's got him in the 360 Nelson. Like,
what you need to know is that Kong is just going on a tear this whole movie. He's just running into a space. An animal will come at him, and he just fucking obliterates it.
Yeah, I was starting to get to the point where I'm like, maybe Anne should just marry Kong.
Well, I don't know, man. He was. I mean, he seems to be into her. He's smelling them fingers.
Yeah.
So Kong. So Jack and Anne, they head back towards the big gate, and they run into Denim and Skipper and the remaining boys, and they're like, guys, we gotta get out of here. And then Kong just fucking rolls up. He's real angry about it, and they like start closing the gate, and then all of the tribal people rush out and help them in holding the gate shut, because they're like, this is our apocalypse. What's happening? This is like the end of days. And then Kong just barrels right through this gate. Like, they're all holding it shut, and he just pushes it apart. And then just starts killing everyone.
He seems to be very specifically killing the natives of the island.
Yeah,
maybe because they're the ones that have to fight because it's their home, whereas like the white film crew is just kind of
they all
out of there. They're just getting to their boat.
Kong's just tearing through folks. There's like a bunch of guys up on like a big platform, and they're throwing spears at him. He grabs one, bites him a couple times, then just drops him, and then knocks the whole platform over. There's a screaming woman at one point who he just steps on and smothers her in the mud.
Yeah, he like curb stomps her.
Yeah, it's grim as hell for a monster movie like this. I mean, there's not like blood, nobody's getting like ripped in half or anything, but for a movie like this, it is so much more violent than you would expect it to be.
Yeah.
So he's just tearing people up. As I write my notes, Kong goes fucking sicko mode.
Yeah, he goes ape shit.
Yeah, he goes ape shit. I wrote that later in my notes. Yeah, this is this tribe's like apocalypse situation. This is their worst case scenario.
Yeah, this is what they were trying to stave off with the wedding.
So King Kong's doing all this because he wants to get Anne back. We haven't really talked too much about Kong's fascination with Anne.
Yeah.
Because the implication I've been getting is that he's been eating all of these other women he's been getting, assumedly.
Yeah, if this is not their first rodeo. This is assuming this is not the first wedding Kong has had.
I assume they've had more. But my question is, do you think the reason he's so obsessed with Anne is because she's like a shiny Pokemon?
Yeah, it seems to. Well, even the natives were like, "Oh, we'll give you 6 of our women for her." Like, there seems to. She's like, because she's not of the island and they haven't seen a white blonde lady before. It's kind of like she's new. So maybe they're maybe if they have had a couple of these weddings and it hasn't worked out so great for them, maybe they're like, "Oh, okay, maybe Kong's into blondes, so maybe that's where we're going wrong."
Well, I wonder if King Kong's like, wow, this one's different and weird. It's like when you find a shiny Pokemon and that's all of a sudden your favorite one.
Oh, yeah, and it's kind of... Oh, sorry, go on.
He's really... I mean, there's some problematic under and overtones to this whole thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it really could just be... And I won't go too big on this because I'm sure it's just kind of like... hopefully obvious to our audience, but I mean, like, it's the way, like, some guys will treat just women in general if, like, they don't actually know how to have an actual relationship with a woman. They're just like, oh, this girl, I like her, she's pretty, that means she's special, and it's like, it's not even really about the girl or her personality or anything about, like, what her dreams or hopes or flaws or fears or anything like that is. It's just about, oh, I like the way she looks, so I'm going to project whatever I want onto her, and then I'm gonna go after her with everything I've got, and I don't really care how she feels about it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's there's also some definite weird racial undertones to this whole thing that, quite frankly, we're not really equipped to get into. But they're almost certainly there. The idea of the pretty blonde woman being taken away by the big scary tribal creature is a trope that's been around for a long time and has thankfully kind of been moved away from.
Yeah, and that's another thing I would say with the whole native attack too, when you see Kong rip into them, because you do see it's not that it's not that he only rips into them, because you do see the death of like some of the white crew when they're going through the jungle, but even then it seems very like the way that the native deaths are treated in this is very overly aggressive and graphic compared to the white men.
To be fair, counterpoint to that, he is absolutely brutal to some of the people later in this movie in the city. I think those are some of the most brutal deaths in this whole movie.
I'm trying to remember. Maybe when we get to my notes, I'll remember that. For some reason, I just don't. I remember him like breaking out of the gates and fighting the native people. I remember that being pretty violent. I can't remember the deaths in the city. So yeah, I guess we'll
get to it. But his whole thing with the subway train is insane.
Oh, I'll have to see. It's listeners. It's been a few real life weeks since I've watched this movie because we've had some life stuff happen and just kind of had our schedules misaligned for a minute. So yeah, maybe like when I get to my notes, I'm sure I made notes of the subway. So yeah.
So they managed to get to the beach. Kong's chasing him down because he wants Anne, and they nail him with one of these bombs.
Yeah, they found his Achilles heel, and it turned out it was bomb.
Yeah, it just takes one, and I was kind of like, oh, they're gonna have to hit him with a few of these. No, one bomb, he goes down.
Yeah.
And yeah, he goes down, and they're like, and Denham's like, great, let's bring this big fella onto the boat. We're gonna take him to New York City.
Yeah, they describe this insane plan that they're gonna chain him up to a raft that they'll just drag behind their boat.
They're gonna take him to a raft, and they're just like, yeah, we'll take him, and we'll get him on the boat. It'll be fine. They're like, chains aren't gonna hold him. It's like, it'll be fine.
And then it cuts immediately to like a lit up Broadway attraction show where they're gonna show him off. So I guess it works, and I'm very disappointed that we didn't get into the statistics of how they managed to get this giant kaiju back to like New York on this raft, on this brain-haired raft,
on a multi-day journey.
Yeah.
The movie conveniently decides that it's not going to try and show us this. Because, yeah, they arrive at New York. Anne and Jack seem to be getting married soon. And they've been asked to come to the show to help present with Denham. They're all dressed up. There's somebody in the audience who mentions that King Kong, the tickets to see him, the tickets for he and his wife, assumedly, are $20.
Yeah.
He's with a woman, so I'm assuming each ticket is $10. Did you look up the exchange rate on this?
I looked up the exchange rate for $20. Let's see if we came to the same amount. I might have got it wrong. I might have done exchange rates wrong again, so we'll see.
So $1 in 1933 money is $24.93. $24.93. And for 2 tickets, $10 each, that gets us to be $498.
Okay, I got around the same range. I must have done something a little bit wrong, but I got $494, and then I decided in order to give us some sort of a perspective on what exactly sort of magnitude of event this was in this movie, Taylor Swift tickets today are around $450.
I was about to look up Taylor Swift tickets as a reference.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You're welcome. Saved you some time.
Okay, so here's my question. Would you pay that much money to take you and your partner to go see a big gorilla chained up on a stage?
I'm gonna be honest, I'd rather see Taylor Swift if I'm gonna spend that much money. But that's just me. I'm also a big Swiftie.
But would you see the gorilla? Or if Taylor Swift isn't an option here, she's not available.
Okay, so Taylor Swift, what happened to Taylor Swift? Was she kidnapped by King Kong? She's pretty blonde.
She was kidnapped by King Kong. She's presenting King Kong.
Oh, okay. Taylor Swift's presenting King Kong?
No. Let's say Taylor Swift. This is Taylor Swift's off season. She's not. Okay. She's not doing anything. So
she's just not even an option. She's not around.
She's not an option. She's
no longer touring. So I'm not going to save my money for that.
Yeah, she's already seen King Kong.
Okay, well then, she's seeing King Kong and she's not doing tours, so I'm not going to save my money to go see her later. But I'm like, hey, I had this money saved for a Taylor Swift concert. Do I want to go see a big monkey with it instead?
A big ape.
No.
No, you don't want to?
No, but I'm also not into zoos.
What if there's I love the zoo. What if there's a 50% chance that the gorilla gets loose and starts killing everybody?
Do I get half price on the tickets?
No. Full price, but you might get to see a gorilla just absolutely tear shit up.
What's the percentage that I'm gonna get killed in this?
Well, that's up to you. You're not a blonde woman, so your chances are decent that he's not going to target you, but you might be killed for being one of the boys.
Okay. I feel like everything is leading me to have to say yes. I want to say no, but...
Well, you could say no. You can say no. This is a hypothetical situation. Here's my
no.
second hypothetical, or third hypothetical. What if you're paying that, there's a 50% chance it's King Kong, there's a 50% chance it's Taylor Swift?
Then yes.
Keeping in mind either option might break loose from their chains and attack the audience.
Oh, I would pay triple if Taylor Swift would do that.
Taylor Swift lifts you up and bites you in half.
That would be awesome.
Could we get Taylor Swift to star in a remake of Attack of the 50-Foot Woman?
Oh, that's the dream. And if it's a musical with her songs interlaced within.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh man, I haven't watched the 50-Foot Woman yet. I know nothing about it except for that there's a 50-foot woman that I think terrorizes this town, maybe. So just imagining like a 50-foot Taylor Swift like going through this small town, crashing buildings as like Opalite plays. Oh, that would be pretty good. But yeah, if there's a 50% chance Taylor Swift's there, I'm in.
I can't remember if the Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, if she's blonde. I think she is. She should fight King Kong.
Well, how tall is King Kong in this? We didn't do that yet. We should do that.
Oh, Jay.
Oh, did you do it already?
I looked into this. So King Kong in this movie is multiple heights. And so he is 18 feet tall, give or take, when he's on the island. He is then 24 feet tall when he's in New York, because they use two different models, so he changes in size slightly.
So he grew during his time on the raft. Did they account for that on the raft? Did they make the raft bigger mid-trip?
Maybe they put steroids in him to make him look more powerful.
Oh, no.
They pumped him up a bit. They were like, actually, this ape's... It'd be better if he broke 20 feet,
Yeah. That makes sense. Then that's good from a business
gets confusing, because the marketing labeled him as being 50 feet tall, but he's not.
He's not. Oh. You know who is 50 feet tall?
The 50-foot woman.
Yeah, they should have got her.
So she could punt him. She could just fucking lift him up and, break him over her knee.
Or she could marry him. Maybe that's the woman Kong really needed all along.
She wants a short king.
Yeah, a short King Kong.
A short King Kong.
We did it. We end the episode.
Wrap it up, boys. Wrap it up.
Ended on a high note.
Oh, that was beautiful. Unfortunately, there's still more of this movie though, so we gotta cover that.
Yeah. So I thought. I don't know if I'm jumping ahead of what you're getting to, because there is a little bit of drama before they. I guess there's not. The problem is there's a lack of drama before King Kong does all of this, because it turns so Anne and Jack are there and they're married now.
They're about to get married.
Okay,
they say that the wedding's upcoming.
They're engaged. He decided he could set aside his disdain for women enough to engage her, at least, and they're seem very weirdly cool with denim. They're at the show.
I made that note too.
Yeah.
They're super chill with denim, and Jack is even talking denim up, and I'm like, denim must be paying them a lot. Because Jack's like, nah, denim's the hero. And I'd be like, nah, man. I did some crazy shit. I stabbed that monkey in the hand.
Yeah, and you were very callous with this woman that I love, and I love enough to ask her to marry me, and you were very callous in how you treated her, and she could have cost her life, and no, that doesn't seem to be, that's a non-issue for them, I guess.
So, yeah, I don't really love this, and Kong doesn't either, because they start taking pictures of them, and Kong doesn't like the flashing lights, and really doesn't like Jack touching Anne, because he thinks that she's getting attacked, I guess is what they say.
Either that or it's some weird predatory thing or dominant thing where he's like, she's mine. I don't know which it is, but...
Well, somebody asked if there's any objections to this union, and King Kong goes, I do, and just rips his way out of these chains.
That's my wife!
he just starts going on a fucking tear. I have written in here, where is it? I say, he's a menace. He's a fucking dog. They call the cops on him. And then the police roll up and quickly realize they are not equipped to deal with this. He runs up, he busts out, he grabs a random guy, bites him a couple times, and then just throws him on the ground.
Yeah, this has the energy of, I'm gonna bring up another comedy movie. I don't know if you've seen it or not. Have you ever seen Semi-Pro with Will Ferrell in it, with, like, the basketball players?
Semi-Pro.
Huh? You
have? Not.
Oh, you have
I have
it?
not.
I want to make you watch that sometime because it's really funny. But anyway, I won't go too far into it. But again, this scene really reminded me of something in that where Will Ferrell's trying to drum up interest for sponsorship and stuff for his basketball team he's trying to get going. And so in order to get a fan base going, he runs this promotional side thing where he's going to wrestle a bear. And so in the middle of this wrestling match, him and this bear are going out and he's like, this isn't so bad. He's kind of smacking the bear around and the bear's kind of like, rah, but not really doing much. And he's like, this is great, this is easy, or whatever. And he turns around to make a pose to the audience, and that bear rolls him and then bursts out of the cage and runs into like the balcony. He runs into like beneath the balconies and disappears, and everybody in the crowd goes silent. And then he grabs the mic and he's like, everybody shut up, and they turn on all the lights and they're like trying to find where this bear is at, and they're all like, all the audience is still and quiet, and he's like, Dewey, hello, and then you hear a bear roar, and then everybody in the crowd freaks out. There's like a guy in a wheelchair trying to get away, and it's like everybody's scared because this dangerous animal is just loose on the crowd. And then Will Ferrell's like, there will be no refunds. He's like, your refund will be escaping this death trap with your life. And this scene has a lot of that energy.
It is that energy.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody in this place is just running, like Will Ferrell told them to.
Yeah.
And Anne gets like pulled out of there by Jack. King Kong's just causing a tear. King Kong starts climbing a building. He looks through a window. He sees a woman who is asleep, who has no idea what's going on, assumedly, because she's not at the show.
Yeah.
And King Kong's big hand reaches in, grabs her, pulls her screaming out of her bed, looks at her, realizes it's not Anne, and he just drops her, and you see her hit the ground. It's so brutal.
Yeah, could you... What a way to go.
I mean, man, that's just
guy.
horrifying.
Yeah, just like, you're not my lady. Whoop.
Drop. Yeah, so it just drops her. And then, like, Kong manages to... He keeps climbing around. Then he looks in a window and he sees Jack and Anne in there.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh.
I thought it was kind of amazing. Out of all the buildings in New York, somehow he locates the one that has their exact room, and he locates their exact room. And I'm like, is this like a weird smell thing since he smelled her boobs earlier?
Oh.
I that's the only reason I could think of how he was able to find her.
If I was her, I would not be going near any windows. I'll tell you that for free.
Yeah, because it's not like Kong has line of sight on her ever since the theater. It's like Jack and Anne are able to get away. Kong's just kind of randomly terrorizing, and then like later it cuts to Jack and Anne alone in their, assumedly their shared apartment or something, and she's kind of crying and like, this is terrible. This is like the island all over again. And Jack's like, I'm gonna protect you.
Be silent.
Yeah,
Stop
be
whining,
silent.
woman.
You're being hysterical.
And then King Kong comes in. Jack tries to hit King Kong's arm with a chair and somehow manages to knock himself out temporarily in doing so.
Yeah, I noticed that.
He hits him with a chair and then just falls over.
Yeah, I'm like... Yeah, that was pretty special.
And then King Kong steals Anne. He's like taking her up on rooftops. He goes down to the streets. And then like a subway's coming and he's like tearing up the tracks. And the subway hits the tracks that are broken and falls down, and all the people in it are like screaming.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, okay, he's gonna leave. No, he grabs it and just starts pounding the subway in, and you hear people screaming until suddenly you don't hear them screaming anymore. And I'm like, this is the fucking scene from Invincible where Omni-Man destroys the subway with everyone in it.
Man.
It's so dark.
I'm glad you went into such detail because I don't know why. Maybe it was late at night when I watched this. For some reason, apparently that scene did not make much of an impression with
Oh
me
my
because the only
God.
note I have for it is it even a kaiju movie if a train car doesn't get derailed?
That's very true. This is the
That's
first
what
one
I
to
put.
do it.
That's all I had to
But,
say
like,
about that, I guess.
It keeps cutting to the people inside who are like falling over and trying to get out, and then it just cuts back to him just smashing it in with his fist, and then he just leaves it there and there's no more screaming. And they don't show everybody in the subway turned to a red jam, but everybody in that subway has been turned into a jam.
Yeah. And then there's like a radio,
Yes!
Then there's like a radio announcement.
I have a time code for this radio announcement.
I did too. Yeah.
Is it the we won't be able to get him if he gets up there. He's climbing the Empire State Building.
He
That
still
is
has
all.
Andero.
Yeah. That is all.
That's all. Yeah.
Up there, what can we do?
We won't be able to get near him.
Kong is climbing the Empire State Building. He is still carrying Andero. That is all.
It's so funny.
Could you imagine if that's how news was nowadays? Like,
oh my God.
They say news goes on for hours about any tiny little thing, and there's a lot of sensationalization now, and they will drag the tiniest little thing on the news for days, and not that one. It was just like, yeah,
now they're like, gorilla,
that'd
we
be
don't
pretty bad, wouldn't it? Oh, whoops, he did it.
We don't want to take up the time
woman
here, boys.
Yeah.
So they then go, let's launch some planes to save this woman, which I guess they're probably trying to kill the gorilla more than saving a woman, but still, I guess that's justified. Interesting thing about this, the Empire State Building had only been completed for 2 years by the time this movie came out.
Oh, interesting. So it wasn't even necessarily, well, how big of a deal was it when the Empire State Building was made?
It was a pretty
Do you know
big
that?
deal when it was made.
Because I was gonna say,
exceptional because it was very tall at the time and like a big deal.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, so it didn't even have like the iconic status that it seems to today. But then I'm like, well, no, because if it was like one of the biggest buildings ever built at that time, then I think it still would. So, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
I have a question to pose to you.
Yeah, because it was made in 1931. Yes, what is your question?
It's not as factual as that. My only question was that, like, so if King Kong took up with Kendall up to the top of a building, and it's like 1930, so you have 1930s technology.
Yeah.
Like, what is your idea for saving her? Like, let's say
4 airplanes.
Yeah, airplanes. Okay, I was gonna say, like, what are the logistics? Like, if
what
somebody...
else am I gonna do?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How helpless is Jack in this situation? I mean, he's knocking himself out with chairs, because it's like, if King Kong...
I wouldn't do that.
If King Kong dragged Ben up to a building, I don't even know what my first thought would be. I'd be like, this is bad.
I think
what
I
am
would
gonna
just
do?
assume that Kendall was dead at that point, quite frankly.
No, like...
I
the radio announcement said that he still has her.
Yeah, I would assume that's a corpse.
Yeah, that would be a lot to figure out.
Yeah, that would be a lot. I don't really know. I will say, this is something I've been thinking of for a bit here, and we're going to get to the fact that these airplanes do a very successful job of taking out King Kong.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's crazy that after this movie and after original Godzilla came out, people were like, these two kaiju should fight. This version of King Kong versus original Godzilla would be obliterated. I mean, come on.
He is not very effective in just this airplane fight alone.
He's also only like, 18 feet tall? 20-something feet tall? Godzilla's like 100 feet tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these airplanes come and they start shooting King Kong, and it's very effective against him. And all I'm saying is 4 airplanes wouldn't do shit against any version of Godzilla.
And on a visual level, we get just a lot of repeat shots of men in these airplanes circling and shooting. So it's actually, I don't know, I didn't find it to be that exciting of a scene, which was disappointing because all of the like monster versus monster fighting earlier in this movie was a lot more interesting to watch.
Well, this is like the iconic thing. Apparently, the director of this movie had a dream about a giant gorilla standing on top of the Empire State Building. and then reverse engineered this movie from that.
I mean, that's cool. That it came from a dream and that he was kind of able to realize that. I just kind of wish we'd seen like maybe more some aerial action or something, or maybe more destruction of the planes or something.
I think it's really funny that those planes keep flying close to King Kong because he's like emoting at them.
Yeah.
And then they keep just swiping him, and he manages to knock one of them out of the air. And I'm like, you guys have guns and you're in planes. You should not be getting close to this ape.
Yeah, I wonder, that was an interesting tactic for them to take that I can think of no other reason for except for that they needed to show that Kong could at least take one out, or else that was just kind of dumb.
Yeah, wouldn't be very exciting. What would have been cool, and I don't know if some of the later versions do this, is if he started ripping pieces off the Empire State Building and throwing them at him. Like, he rips that, like, spike off the top and uses it like a javelin.
Yeah, or throw Anne at him.
Whatever, yeah, exactly.
Whatever he's got on hand.
He just throws Anne.
Yeah, whatever he's got on hand, you know.
He crushes her up and throws her, so it's like a little shrapnel bomb.
Girlfriend.
Oh my god. See, there's, you haven't watched Attack on Titan yet. There's a big ape guy in that show whose main move is he just picks up a bunch of rocks, crushes them up, and then throws them, and it's terribly effective. And I'm like, King Kong, you gotta start doing that shit.
Like construction snowball.
Exactly. So they start shooting him, and the movie wants me to feel bad for King Kong here, and I don't, because he's an absolute
He's
maniac.
A terror.
He's a menace. But I do think there is kind of a nice bit where, like, he's getting shot and he's kind of slowing down, and you see him, like, looking to try and figure out why he's bleeding, and he can't understand why he's bleeding, and I'm like, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, because he is, I mean, at the end of the day, he is, I'm assuming he's an animal. There isn't much logic into what he's doing. It's all instinctual, I feel like, which is, like, real, you know, it's like people that have exotic animals. Huh?
I will say, we'll get to it. I think the 2005 version does King Kong a lot better as we're supposed to feel bad for this guy. Because for one thing, he's less creepy, and he's a lot more reactionary as opposed to, I'm gonna kill everyone.
I'm gonna be honest, I feel like he's an animal. We don't have to, we can just feel bad just because he's an animal, and we can even just not think he's creepy because he's an animal. We could just feel creepy about the producers who decided to put a weird romance spin on an animal and human.
He smelled his fingers, though. That was a little weird. Yeah, no, I know some of the later versions definitely lean more into, like, he's an animal and he's just confused as to what's going on. And this movie kind of does. But yeah, he's shot, he dies, and the utter disrespect of his body bouncing off the Empire State Building twice on the way down is so funny.
So, like, I'm kind of forgetting the visuals here a bit. Was that like the stop motion like doll that they had for King Kong? Did they just like flick it off the side of the building and let it hit all the?
It was zoomed out enough. I think it's probably just a doll that they painted to look like a gorilla because it's so zoomed out you can't see it. Okay. But I just love that they tip it off and it just hits twice on the way down.
It's like so that man in the Titanic that hits the propeller.
Exactly. Oh, incredible. I think that should be mandatory. If somebody falls off a thing, they should hit something on the way down.
Well, if you're gonna do it.
And then Denham says the famous line of, no, it was Beauty that killed the Beast, when they're talking about him being shot to death. And I'm like, Denham, stop trying to make the Beauty and the Beast thing happen. Because we haven't really mentioned it. Throughout
stop
the movie,
trying to make fetch happen. It's not gonna happen, Gretchen.
He keeps bringing up, like, Beauty and the Beast. Like, he brings it up to Anne when he gets her on the job. He just keeps bringing it up throughout this movie. And he just really tries to bring it in here. And I'm like, dude, come on. That whole subway is jammed now. We don't have time for this.
Yeah.
Also, way to blame the woman.
What
do you work for Big Airplane? Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's something you see a lot in just, like, history in general, and even still today, is like women just getting blamed for things they did not do.
It's pretty funny though. It's pretty funny though in this case where he's like, yeah, it's, what can you do? He doesn't even seem that torn up about it.
It's like, you know, King Kong is so iconic, so it's like it's hard to you can't say that he didn't make something iconic even if his messaging was weird. Like, King Kong, like, stands out and it stands the test of time. It's still,
I thought you were talking about Denim.
Oh, well, Denim should have. I wish he...
Yeah, you're like, it's not Denim's fault. King Kong stood out in the crowd when he killed all those people.
No, but
he was iconic.
I guess I'm talking more towards the theme in the movie overall, but it's just kind of like, yeah, it's weird in that, like, I never really understood if we're meant to see King Kong, like, how is King Kong and Anne's relationship intended to be seen? Like, is it supposed to be seen as Anne is kind of like this shiny toy and King Kong's like a toddler fascinated with it? Or is it supposed to be romantic? Like, I am so unsure about that.
It's unclear, yeah, because later versions definitely kind of go different routes with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the 2005 one, it's not really romantic. He's almost like protecting her, and the idea in that movie, from what I recall, is it's supposed to be like Kong's not as brutal as they think. Like, he doesn't eat meat. He's herbivorous, and he's trying to defend her from various things, but also doesn't fully understand her. But then in the Monsterverse, the modern American ones, where he ties in with Godzilla and stuff, that one, he doesn't have a relationship with like a blonde lady, really. He kind of does, but it's different. But like, he has a connection with humans because they introduce a thing in one of those movies where he's befriended a little girl who's from that native tribe on his island, and she like communicates with him through sign language, and so they kind of still have that thing of like, oh, he's able to connect with humans, but it's less weird.
It's in a more appropriate sort of relationship.
Now, I mentioned the Monsterverse. I meant to mention this earlier. What's funny, and this is going to date this podcast because this podcast will surely come out a couple months from when we're recording this. But at the time of recording this, the new season of Monarch Legacy of Monsters has started coming out. And King Kong is in it. And so it was really quite fun to see the absolute newest version of King Kong. And then the following night, I rewatched the original King Kong. And it is very fun to see the parallels between the two. For one thing, modern King Kong, much bigger.
I'm really excited to get to those.
I think you're going to like Kong Skull Island, which is the first of the newer ones with him, which takes place like it's like Vietnam era.
Okay.
And then they jump forward to the modern day, and he's grown bigger, and then he has to fight Godzilla, which I'm also excited to show you original Godzilla vs. King Kong.
Yeah, the two big boys.
Because there have been, I'm kind of tempted to catch us up on the Monsterverse stuff first, so you can get to the Godzilla vs. King Kong, because I think it would be really funny to watch original Godzilla vs. King Kong, and then the next episode do the remake modern version, which is very different.
Oh, that'd be a cool juxtaposition. I think that'd be a cool way to go about it.
But yeah, and there's a bunch of King Kong movies. I'm not super well versed in King Kong stuff, I have to admit. I've seen a few of them. I have not seen any of the crazy ones from like the 80s and the 70s and 80s where they have like Mecha King Kong show up and all these things. But King Kong generally has there's not as many movies as there are Godzilla. It's kind of interesting because King Kong's older, but King Kong always makes money, but hasn't been as much of a big franchise hit as Godzilla is generally.
Well, I also wonder if that has to do with the themage, because it's kind of like King Kong, I think, has always kind of had this Beauty and the Beast sort of, like, when you think of King Kong, and sure, there are kind of the crazy offshoots like Mecha King Kong and things like that, but I mean, I don't think that's what stands out to most average people when they think of King Kong. I think they think about, like, oh, King Kong, and he steals the woman and up on the Empire Building, which is kind of like the big
That's where
iconic
Donkey Kong
thing.
Comes from.
Whereas Godzilla has more of a theme of like, like processing the unfathomable tragedy, of like nuclear warfare. And so I think that is a lot more dramatic. And I think you don't have the weird questions that you have with King Kong, where it's like, okay, what is this is this a romance thing between an ape and a woman? How do I feel about that? That's kind of weird. But then it's like, Godzilla doesn't really have that hurdle. Godzilla is really just about processing tragedy. So
to my knowledge, and I haven't seen every single Godzilla movie, but to my knowledge, Godzilla never has a romantic connection with a human woman.
and that's, more power to them for that.
Not yet. Not yet. There's still time.
Yeah, like I said, it was really weird to push the Beauty and the Beast theme. Like, you really could have just had, like, without pushing all the Beauty and the Beast stuff, you could have just had, like, yeah, there's this movie about this, like, these people go onto this island, they find this Kong guy, and takes them, like, there's a lot of good themes about, like, exploitation of workers, or, like, how women are treated. There's a lot of themes like that are great with King, and raise questions about King Kong.
Even the idea of, like, taking wonders and bringing them to the modern day. That's something, because I mentioned The Lost World, which is the other movie from around this era. And The Lost World's interesting because Michael Crichton, or not Michael Crichton, that's Jurassic Park, sorry. Arthur Conan Doyle, who wrote that book. Mixing him in my brain. Because Michael Crichton wrote The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Arthur Conan Doyle, who did Sherlock Holmes, also wrote The Lost World, and in that, the whole message of that book is basically, and it's very of the time and all that, but it's kind of this thing of like man's urge to explore and conquer sort of juxtaposing with the, but then it's not a new wonder anymore once we've, captured it and conquered it. And King Kong kind of has a little bit of that going for it too. It is interesting because the King Kong story of like, takes a blonde woman, brings her up to a tower. That's where Donkey Kong started. Like Donkey Kong and Mario.
Princess Peach and stuff.
Yeah, that's very clearly a pulling from King Kong. It even has the name in it.
Mm-hmm.
But also like Donkey Kong, I feel like King Kong is usually made the good guy in future iterations because people kind of realize that, you kind of feel bad for this guy. Like, in both Godzilla vs. King Kong movies, King Kong is kind of viewed as the protagonist, sort of, where Godzilla's a little bit more of the antagonist, because Godzilla's scarier. Because King Kong's more willing to work with people, on average, than Godzilla is.
I wonder if that has to do... if there's kind of almost a thing where it's like King Kong is, kind of a ape monkey type, where they can communicate. It's easier to communicate with them. Humans can do that. Whereas there's kind of like, you don't really have that level of communication with like lizards and amphibians and reptiles and stuff, which is kind of more what Godzilla is. So I wonder if there's some sort of reasoning there why they tend to gravitate towards King Kong being more of the hero.
What is funny is in the original, and this is slight spoilers for these movies, but in the original Godzilla vs. King Kong, there was a lot of contractual stuff of like, well, King Kong needs to come out of this looking good. Because that was sort of the deal for Toho being able to make that movie, as they were told by RKO and the people who owned King Kong of like, well, we don't want King Kong to lose. In the modern Godzilla vs. King Kong, there was much less of a, well, we need to make it fair. They kind of did that. I think the more modern one is a much more realistic depiction of what would happen if these two characters threw down.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you to see those eventually. But talking about themes.
Yeah.
Connecting themes. You
So
mentioned
before we
something
did
about
that,
workers'
did you
rights.
have any reviews for King Kong 1933?
I did not have any reviews for King Kong.
We don't have to.
1933.
You're also on the spot here.
I'll pull up reviews for things if I think there's some notable ones. This one's old enough that I did see that Siskel and Ebert, the classic.
They're like
reviewers.
movie critics, aren't they?
Yeah, I do remember seeing a thing where Roger Ebert didn't like original Godzilla. He thought it was like really hokey and cheesy, which when we get to that next episode, wild take for him to have about that when he then liked King Kong. But in his review for it, he kind of talks about it like he is almost embarrassed to like it. Where he's like, oh, well, it's cheesy and it's stupid, but, I kind of, and I'm like,
he's talking about it like people talk about Twilight.
Yeah, I'm like, Twilight dude, you can just say you like it, which I get it. He was a professional critic and held a lot of weight, but I'm like, bro, just say you liked it. It's fine.
It's okay. We
Also,
all like
he
our
probably
we all
never
have our
watched
hate watches.
Do
Yeah.
you think he ever watched The Jersey Shore?
Oh,
I'm sure I could look this up. Probably
I
not.
hope so. Probably not, but I hope so.
If he didn't like King Kong, there's no hope for liking The Jersey Shore. They're very similar.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of similarities,
I think there's more connecting themes with this one than I think there have been with any of our other episodes so far. Because first, there's the whole idea of a large, muscular creature clinging onto a woman and sort of trying to run away with her, which is every episode of The Jersey Shore.
Are you referring to like Mike and Sammy or?
There's Ronnie and Sammy. There's the situation in that blonde woman. There's the situation in any other woman he meets on the show. There's Polly and JWoww. There's really any option.
Yeah.
However, I think the real connection is a woman and a large crew of just people in general being put in mortal danger by an overzealous director.
Yeah.
That's just the plot of Jersey Shore.
Yeah, there's definitely something to be said. There's themes of exploitation for sure.
Jersey Shore is being run by a denim, and that's for sure.
And could be for better or worse, like I said, I mean, like, I think it was a weird social experiment to put real people through, and then to put a camera on all of their. It was manufactured distress, basically. They manufactured this constant stress on these people, and then recorded the reactions for the world's entertainment, basically, which is a really fucked up social experiment that we all participated in back then, and we're all participating in today. We're participating in it right now by doing this podcast, so it's like...
But we're actually better because we're pointing out the flaws. We're actually heroes, in a way.
I'm not better. I'm participating, but on the other hand, I mean, like, and they will say, a lot of them will say they had really good relationships with the production, despite the fact that production did this to them.
Just like Jack and Ann had a really good relationship with Denim after all that happened. Oh my god, it all fits together!
And I mean, you could say, like I said, it did, for better or worse, and for how, how much they got ragged on, or, or had their, like, most embarrassing, like, moments in their young 20s partying, like, displayed for the world and basically cemented in history forever. It did open doors for them they might not have got in their lifetime, like, they've each had spin-off shows and things like that, and
oh my god, we have so much Jersey content.
There's a lot of Jersey content. They've had spin-off shows, like Vinny got to have like he had like something he did with Chip and Dale's in Las Vegas for a while. Pauly is now a huge DJ in Las Vegas. That's how he makes like all of his money now, and he sells out
Vegas
shows
multiple times, and we haven't gone to see Pauly.
You didn't know he was a big time DJ in Las Vegas?
You didn't tell me. We were there.
Nick, we could go. We could go to one of them.
We could go. Okay, so it's good to know that both them and King Kong have continued to have stellar careers, because King Kong's in a show that's airing right now. He's going to be in a movie soon.
King Kong's doing well for himself.
Godzilla X Kong Supernova, I think is what it's called. I don't know.
They're all doing well for themselves. They don't have to beg for obscure sponsors like we do.
That's true. I still haven't even seen the most recent King Kong movie, quite frankly. I haven't seen Godzilla X Kong Frozen Empire. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen any of them.
That one, it slipped my radar. Look, as we'll get to, I have a complicated relationship with the MonsterVerse movies. I love some of them and really don't love others of them. Love might be a strong... I like some of them and I don't love others. But I haven't watched that one also in part because that was around the time when we said we wanted to maybe do this podcast. And I was like, I'll save it. I'll save it.
You'll have... So that will be your family vacation.
That'll be my family vacation. Well, also a number of we're very quickly getting into kaiju movies that I haven't seen before. When we get to Gamera, that's gonna be one. But yeah. Do you have any more you want to say, or we wanted to?
I'm gonna be honest. Exploitation was kind of the big one that I had.
I
Mostly
think
because I thought
exploitation-
this episode of Jersey Shore was the next one, in which case spoiler
Well-
alert to the audience. I don't know. I'm not going to be doing a theme next episode, but I will
Honestly,
we will be talking about the episode.
We might do a theme next episode, Jay.
Nick
because
will do
the
a
next,
theme.
Well, the next movie we're watching is also a movie where joking about it is going to be kind of hard, because our next episode, I've been hinting at it a bit, we're going to be finally doing original Godzilla. So it actually works out kind of nicely that we're having a serious Jersey Shore episode to tie into what is a genuinely pretty serious movie. 1954's Godzilla is kind of...
Yeah, because that's when that was the very first one, huh?
That's the first one. So that one is... There are some goofy moments to it.
Oh yeah, there'll be some goofy moments next episode of Jersey Shore for sure, and I don't expect us to not have our fun we normally have, but I'm just saying there are going to be some more serious topics that we will be discussing.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know, on a similar note, of original Godzilla is not a particularly fun movie, and it's honestly fascinating to watch that and then see the movies that come soon after, because not that long after that movie, you get to Mothra versus Godzilla, and the tonal difference is wild.
Huh. A little whiplash, huh?
But yeah, it's another black and white movie. It's pretty good. I am gonna have to make sure that we find the right version, because there's an American release of that movie that is not the original movie. And that one changes the movie a fair bit to make it a little less critical of certain things.
Is that one we are going to be watching down the line in our kaiju treasure trove, or is that one where it's it's the same movie but they took out some very some anti-American sentiment, so there's no point in watching it since it's the same movie minus that?
Yeah, it's that. I'll tell you about it when we get to it next episode. They basically insert a bunch of stuff with a Canadian actor who they basically try and retroactively make the main character by just slotting in scenes with him. And it has a pretty bad English dub, and they change a bunch of details about the story, but we'll find the right one.
I'm realizing I should also, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm realizing I should also give the audience a preview of the next episode of Jersey Shore. Season 1, Episode 4 would be Fade to Black, and the Hulu description for that is: after a night at the clubs, Polly and Mike have to juggle multiple groups of girls, and mayhem breaks out when a fight erupts at a bar and one of the housemates goes down.
Well, that's... I'm excited. I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited for Godzilla. Honestly, this sounds like this is going to be a good combination of the two.
Yeah, I think it's good to have, if we're going to have probably I think this is probably, there might be one other one that's pretty serious, but there's two pretty dang serious ones that I can think of off the dome of Jersey Shore that I'm I kind of want to treat it with the air of seriousness that I feel like it should be treated with. So, and that's not to say there's not going to be, obviously most of the episode is the Jersey Shore being the Jersey Shore cast and very goofy and fun, and we will have fun with that. But yeah, it sounds like we're going to have some serious themes next episode.
Yeah, it's going to be hop on in to see us try and talk about serious stuff.
Yeah, we'll see if we can manage that.
Jay gets to talk about physical assault, and I get to talk about post-war Japan and fear of nuclear bombs.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for hopping in, everybody. We will see you next episode.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. And if any of you guys know anybody from the Jersey Shore, we're down to talk.
Also, if you want us to debate anything at all, put what you want us to debate in the comments.
Oh, yes. Yes. If you want us to debate any 2012 related topics, let us know. We will debate them
Now
We've already done Obama versus Rodney.
I have the power of
Rodney,
ChatGPT
Romney.
on my side.
Well, I have the power of a human brain.
Tune in to see who'll win.
Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. That's when we'll do the ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Alrighty.